Okay, folks, we're live. This is the Xbox Day 1 Showcase, which we were caught off guard, didn't know it was going to be at this time, but this is live coverage of it. And man, oh man, oh man, they're already getting into Forza Horizon 5.
Herzlich willkommen hier aus Köln.
Is it available for what? What was that? Let's rewind that back. I missed that.
It's not live yet, no.
Oh, the showcase isn't live yet?
No, I mean, you are not live yet.
Herzlich willkommen hier aus Köln.
Yeah.
Welcome to Gamescom.
For the first time, Xbox Game Studios, Activision,
Oh,
Blizzard, and
now
Bethesda
you're
are
on.
coming together here in Cologne to bring you what you want. More.
Herzlich willkommen hier aus Köln. Welcome to Gamescom.
I wanted to see what that was. Hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't even know if this... This is a new mode or something? Hide and seek available for free. Okay.
Herzlich willkommen hier aus
So-
Köln. Welcome to Gamescom.
Hey, first question, how does it feel to be here at Xbox's Gamescom presence?
I'm going to shut up for a little bit.
So much energy here.
Just let them
It's
talk.
been fantastic to see the fans, to be part of
Oh,
opening
no,
night
Phil
live last
Spencer.
night,
Phil
and to see their
Spencer.
reaction. This booth, and I have no
Spencer,
idea
Phil
why we're calling it a
Spencer.
booth, because it's not a booth. It's an entire wonderland.
It really is. It's an underestimation calling it a booth,
and
right?
with experiences, with games that you can play, things you can see, incredible photo opportunities is fantastic. So to see folks pouring in and experiencing it. And it reminds you of what makes this industry special, which is all about celebrating games, the joy they bring, and the people who make them.
It's, for us, our first Gamescom with Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, Xbox all here together. So there's definitely something special. All the teams have gotten together, and I think there's just such great representation. I'll also say the industry has gone through a lot of transition with our shows, and seeing Gamescom as strong as ever with fans, consumers coming in,
Absolutely.
all the creators that are here, strength across Europe. Like, we need more of this in the industry. I'm glad we're here supporting. And it's just awesome to see how the gamers show up to support this show.
Bigger and better every year. We love to see it. Before we come to the booth, though, I actually want to talk. I saw you both were at Opening Night Live yesterday, and there were some pretty amazing reveals and news in there. So what was it like? I couldn't get a ticket, unfortunately, but what was it like to be in the room with that live reaction?
There's nothing better than being in the room with the live reaction
I can bet.
and to just see people marvel at the things that are being made, all the work being showcased, and folks put so much work into bringing that forward. I'd say for me, it was really cool to see Game Pass titles in the show. I think we had over a dozen titles that are coming to Game Pass in the show. We're just having a fantastic lineup. But I was especially excited to announce that Genshin Impact is coming to Xbox.
Oh, yeah. That's my one. That's mine.
There's some pretty cool Game Pass rewards that are going to be part of that.
Nice.
There's going to be full cross progression, and it's also going to be on cloud. So that one was a real highlight for me because I know so many fans are excited to enjoy that on the Xbox.
I love when creators are making new things, and
There goes the
you have to be
bullshit.
really brave to come to a show, maybe before you're done, show your game, get the feedback. Teams that are creating new games. I thought the diversity of games at the show was awesome.
Oh, absolutely,
From
yes.
big, huge games to smaller games, things we've heard of, seen, things we hadn't heard of. I also have to say Genshin, we got to meet with the MiHoYo team earlier in the day,
Yeah.
and they had such excitement for their announcement, and it was nice to be able to support that.
Oh, fantastic. And obviously we can't talk about Opening Night Live. We saw some amazing new stuff from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle as well as that exciting release date. We also saw the news about PlayStation as well, which is really cool. I'm really interested in that. So I want to know how this
Here we go.
connects
Let's hear what
back
they
to
say.
Xbox's perspective on how and when this approach happens to other titles.
I mean, I'll start just saying Machine Games is doing such a nice job with that game. I thought it showed really well. And that's the most important thing is quality of the
Absolutely.
games,
Yeah.
teams that are getting support that can go build the game. And it was just nice. The long gameplay segment that they had, I thought was fantastic. Going to the PlayStation announcement, obviously last spring, we launched 4 games, 2 of them on the Switch, 4 of them on PlayStation, and we said we're going to learn. We said we'd watch. I think at Showcase, I might have said, from our learning, we're going to do more. What I see when I look, the franchises are getting stronger. Our Xbox console players are as high this year as they've ever been.
Amazing.
So I look at it and I say, okay, our player numbers are going up for the console platform. Our franchises are as strong as they've ever been. And we run a business. Like, it's definitely true inside of Microsoft. The bar is high for us in terms of the delivery that we have to give back to the company, because we get a level of support from the company that's just amazing in what we're able to go do. So I look at this, how can we make our games as strong as possible? Our platform continues to grow, both on console, on PC, and on cloud. And I think it's just going to be a strategy that works for us. And the last thing I'll probably say is, I think as an industry right now, there's a lot of pressure on the industry. It's been growing for a long time, and now people are looking for ways to grow. And I think that us as fans, as players of games, we just have to anticipate there's going to be more change in how some of the traditional ways that games were built and distributed. That's going to change. That's going to change for all of us. But the end result has to be better games that more people can play. If we're not focused on that, I think we're focused on the wrong things. So for us as Xbox, health of Xbox, health of our platform, and our growing games, most important things.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Lovely. Now back to the booth. I saw you both walking around earlier before you joined me up here. Devs at Frontier, Sega, and GSC Game World. So I want to know, Sarah, specifically what it's like to be working with our partners here in Europe, and what kind of evolution we can see from these partners.
Well, the partnership we have with here in Europe is fantastic.
Look at him. He's so well. He don't even look happy being there.
In EMEA,
Goodness me.
actively building games.
That's a lot of emails.
I know, it is a lot of emails for Xbox, PC, and console and cloud today. We've got over 20 of them here with us, here in the booth. And it's just been great to walk around, to see what they're doing. 2 Point Museum for Sega Europe. We've got the Stalker 2 team, GSC Game World, back with us, supporting them over the last couple of years has been a real highlight. So to get to be able to play their game again here is fantastic. We just walked over and checked out Winterboro, which is
can we say now
very
that was the fucking KO?
Yeah, so cute. I'm very excited for that one.
Was that the KO? I mean, the KO was last night.
Grow here with the partners.
Right now, it's just
amazing.
This is the spit on it. This is the spit on the body.
There's such a huge play base here in
that's
Europe
that's the pose over the body.
Stuff are you seeing from us over here?
That's the pose over the body.
I mean, Europe's always been really important to Xbox. It used to be we treated this almost solely as a PC show. Well, I'm old enough that I remember we used to kind of take E3 and just show it again. Like this was back when we didn't really treat Gamescom with the respect that it deserves. Then we were focused more on PC. Now what we find here is putting our games on PC, on console really matches to the diverse player base we see in Europe. Like some of the strongest franchises on PC are from here. You have great console support. So the most important thing for us is to show local support for creators, to put games in the hands of people. One thing that's great about Gamescom is you can come and you can play the games. You can feel what it's like to play Stalker or Vessel of Hatred from Diablo. Like, you get your chance here. And I think that's something special about this show, and it's so accessible to so much of Europe. I just love that we support it the way we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the sheer scale that it demands, as well as you were saying earlier, Sarah, absolutely.
With our little city here.
The little city that we're building. We're the mayors.
Wow.
So let's speak a little bit more on hardware, as we've gone over it a couple times here. Since I've not spoken to you since the showcase at all, which is criminal in and of itself, but we saw the 3 new options for the Xbox Series X and S. So I was wondering if there's a little bit more information we can share about that.
Well, pre-orders are starting today.
Yes, Sarah.
All right,
yeah,
get yours in. We're launching on October 15th in select markets.
The pre-orders for the
very
Xboxes.
cool accessibility options, which we're going to be talking more about later today.
The $650
and for
one.
holiday and the rest of this year, some very cool console wraps that you can get
where is the PC?
adorn your console as you may choose.
Christmas list sorted then. Thank you very much, Sarah. Okay, console options done. We're going to hear they'll be coming just in time for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is amazing. Cannot wait for that.
Looked so good last night in the show.
Yeah, oh
Fantastic.
my goodness me, it was just
the campaign
silence.
from Raven, I thought was just awesome.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Talking of games, I do want to know though, what are you going to be playing? Is there anything you've got your eye on? Last year we spoke about Brotato, and I wanted to give you an update, and everyone at home, that I have now 100%ed Little Kitty Big City, and it is quite possibly the greatest game of all time. But yeah, is there anything on your backlog that you need to catch up on, or anything coming up soon you want to dive into?
Well, the Game Pass lineup is making the backlog extraordinarily long.
Unforgivable.
And it's getting even better this year, both on console and PCs. We've got Aura coming. We have Age of Mythology, Flight Sim 2024, which looks incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Black Ops 6, of course. Indiana Jones, Stalker 2. It's all like, what? Every month there's something pretty amazing.
It's a lot of games.
There's a lot of games. We like games around here. But I would say from a personal perspective, super excited for Diablo 4, especially because my father is probably the biggest Diablo fan.
curious.
So Vessel of
Is this
Hatred is
pre-recorded?
coming up. Yeah, the fact that Vessel of Hatred is
This
coming
might
up
be
is pretty
pre-recorded.
big,
The way that the
in their world.
video
And then I am excited to play Genshin Impact on
Yes.
is
Xbox,
editing,
and particularly to check
is
it out over
edited
the
here.
cloud.
Yeah, very good. We'll have to duo for that one. That sounds grand.
Yeah.
Love it. Perfect. Phil, anything for you?
Well, P3 on Xbox Live, people can see what I'm playing.
Yeah.
A lot of Diablo 4 right now. My rapid fire rogue is L100. All my glyphs
good.
to 21.
Yeah.
Having a good time with that. I mean, I just love the game, playing with my friends. Path of the Goddess, Kinesugami.
Nice, yeah.
Like our
Tim
partners at
Dog still your
Capcom,
friend,
doing new
Phil?
IP.
You
It
still
was
playing
awesome to
with
be
Tim
able to
Dog?
partner with them. It's something
Yeah.
in Game Pass. As they're investing in new, like we can actually come in with some financial funding to help support them investing in. And I just love the
Cold
color
Blood, I don't
palette,
know
the
if you
boss
know,
design. Just a
but Tim
really,
Dog was
really fun
on
game. Some old
that
school
show with
kind of tower
Hard Geek
defense mechanics.
last night.
I love that.
I haven't
One of the
seen it
things
yet. I just saw the
do every
promo
month
for it.
is
I
go
definitely
through
want to
the
check
ID
that out.
selects with the team, and we
nice.
vote
See what was said
internally
there.
on games from different ID developers. Daydreams is a game I'm really liking. Little boy and his toy
You love hearing
teddy
people
bear,
being
and kind of a
disappointed,
single
right?
player type co-op game. It's fun.
I'm
I
sorry.
think a couple months ago, High
told
Water
you,
was
I'm
a game
taking my
that's really
victory
good.
laps, man. I don't
love
give
when
a
I get
damn.
A list of
I don't give a
games from
damn, in the words of
creators
my
and teams
homie
I haven't
Maz.
seen before.
I don't give a
you get to
damn.
dive in. I think there's like 15 of them. I play them, and I my vote's just like anybody else's vote in terms of where they rank. But that's fun. A lot of great games, a lot of kind of new things and things that have been around for a while. Oh, and I'm here, so I'm not doing it. My buggy in Starfield. I'm looking forward. I've been asking for Todd for vehicles. Come on, Todd. I want vehicles in this game. I'm tired of walking around this planet. And I thought the trailer for that looked really good last night, so I can't wait to drive around planets in Starfield.
Wonderful. And talking of driving, I'm personally, if anyone's wondering, super excited. Forza Horizon 5 is over there.
Yeah.
The game I cannot put down. Absolutely adore it. So if they've got
See.
something new cooking, I desperately need to see
New
what
gameplay
that
mode.
is.
There,
Yeah.
yeah.
So excited. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for the chat. Please enjoy getting your hands on our lovely city we've got here. But I'm going to speak to these guys here because if, like me, you've been eyeing up those new consoles, then buckle up because we want to help you win one. Now, over to Bex with more information.
Well, thanks, Charlie. So not only are these honeys available for pre-order right now, anyone watching the broadcast has a chance to enter to win either the 1 terabyte Xbox Series X all digital
What do I
edition,
need
by
to
the way,
do?
the 1 terabyte Xbox Series
Let me
S,
know now.
Molten Robot White, or the grand prize of the 2 terabyte special edition Galaxy Xbox Series X. I mean, look how gorgeous that is. To enter, just head over to twitch.tv/Xbox, check out the rules and all the info in the chat. And best of all, good luck. So, next up, we saw Forza Horizon 5's new gameplay mode reveal at the top of the show, the Hide and Seek. We are now going to look at some new wheels that have been inspired by Dallas Maverick star Luka Doncic and, best of all, blessed by the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. So let's have a look.
Yeah, we're going to see a PlayStation announcement, I feel. What do y'all think? Y'all think let's do that as a poll. Let's do a poll. Start a poll. Do you think Forza Horizon 5 will be announced for PlayStation during show? They've already mentioned it several times, and they've only talked about a new game mode. They're probably
Hello, everyone. It is an honor to be here.
They're probably going to talk about the other stuff later if they are, they're going to let the team announce it.
We have a lot going on here in Cologne on the show floor. Right here behind me, attendees can experience the demo for the Diablo IV Vessel of Hatred expansion. We are also excited to be speaking with our global community here on the Xbox broadcast over the coming days. During opening night live, we shared that this is a massive year for Blizzard, particularly for World of Warcraft. The most ambitious
I'm curious. Tell me what y'all think is going to happen
since the game's initial release almost 20 years ago.
While we're sitting here, we did an early bird special. It was only a few moments because we knew about it. We found out about this at the last minute.
Art director Tina Wang
we'll cover this as long as it makes sense.
Work on the expansion and the role it will play
if it's too bloated with dog shit, then we're going to move on.
Last night, we also gave an overview of some new features coming to Diablo 4.
I definitely want to talk about.
We know you have a lot of questions. So Diablo General Manager Rod Ferguson will be getting into the details of the new
I definitely want to talk about what happened at
and we'll share more about what's
last
coming
night.
to Diablo
Last night was just
we're so excited
disgustingly
to be here at Gamescom with
was
Xbox
so disgustingly
and with all of you. Gaming is at its
exciting.
very best when we share our experiences, and on behalf
to see the
everyone at
reactions
Blizzard, thank you for being
of
a part of our legendary world
who just was
alongside us.
deflated.
Now, before I go, I want to leave you with a parting gift from the Overwatch team. The origin story for our latest hero, Juno, now available in
We don't
Season
give
12.
a fuck about this.
Enjoy.
Let's mute this. And if you do care, I don't, whatever. So my thing is that with what happened last night, Cold Blood and I was saying earlier, it's not that we're surprised. No, we're not. We're not surprised that it was announced. For several years now, a lot of us have been saying Xbox is looking to bend the knee competitively. They're just not being straightforward and transparent with you in saying so. They're doing it, but they're not saying it. They keep getting on stage and they keep saying certain things to you guys, you know what I'm saying, to make you feel like that they're sticking around and they're trying to compete, and they're not. Another thing that we've pointed to is that this APK deal, excuse me, how the APK deal really wasn't going to make gaming better for the lot of gamers. Like, people were always saying, this is a step up for gamers. Xbox has yet to show how them absorbing a company makes a company better. I will say that bringing ABK games to Game Pass adds more value to a Game Pass subscriber, but you go through so much to really, what's the word I'm looking for? Water down gaming for so many people just so that a small few of Game Pass subscribers, that includes me, I'm a PC Game Pass subscriber. You water down gaming so much with you getting involved with this company to where, for the benefit of a few Game Pass subscribers, and when I say few, I know there's tens of millions, but when we look at the entirety of the gaming community, it's just a spit in a bucket. So when people were out there and they were like, you need to appreciate this, you need to like this because this is beneficial to all gamers, that was a bunch of malarkey. And now you have the same people that were saying that now trying to act like they never said that and say, well, it was common sense. The APK was fundamentally going to change the Xbox business. Oh, it wasn't common sense to you. It definitely wasn't common sense to you. It's a bunch of malarkey. We got the homie John Grant in chat. He says Towerborn been on Steam first, annoying since they promoted it. John, this is the stuff we were trying to explain in our conversations in the past. Like, bro, it's not like we don't understand why people would want to be in play on Xbox and have it be their premier way to play. I understand. I was a former Xbox enthusiast myself. But they are not, they are, none of these companies are fully transparent. I'm not out here trying to make Sony look like a saint. Hell no. You see how we've been kicking Sony's feet in, kicking their ribs in for the last several months. if not the year for a lot of their misgivings. But Xbox by far is the most deceptive and the least transparent out of them all. And when I say deceptive is they keep telling you guys that this is coming, that's coming, this is coming, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it either is perpetually pushed back, or by the time it comes, it's nowhere near what the illusion that they gave to you that it would be. So it's just some food for thought. All right, we're going to get back and see what's being talked about here.
It's opening night live, and here to give us an exclusive look at Diablo 4's newest expansion, please welcome General Manager Rod Ferguson, Systems Designer Aislinn Hall, and Lead Game Designer Rex Dixon. Welcome, guys, to Gamescom.
Thank you for having us.
Look
at
exciting stuff. Now,
God,
for those of the people out there that might have missed what happened last night, why don't you clue us in? What exactly did you just do?
Yeah, well, last night was exciting. So our game director for their Vessel of Hatred expansion, Brent Gibson, got on stage and he talked about something that we've been going even deeper on the expansion. You know, we've talked about the Spiritborn, the class, we've talked about the new zone, Nahantu.
Rod looks so out of place.
The story campaign, but we're like, there's even more in the expansion than that. And so we really want to get into like different ways that people want to play the game. And so we introduced the Undercity of Kuras, which is our new dungeon, which Rex will talk about. We have our new Dark Citadel, which is our multiplayer co-op. And then the big thing was our trailer last night for our Mercenaries.
Mercenaries. Now, let's talk about them for a sec, because this is a brand new gameplay feature. We'll talk about new class and all that kind of stuff in a sec, but Mercenaries seems really interesting. You showed off like this vignette with 4 different characters. I mean, introduce us to them. Who are these people? Why did it feel like the right time to bring it in now? And how do you hope players are going to engage with the Mercenaries?
Yes. So I think the franchise has a legacy of followers and mercs, and we wanted to really reimagine that formula. And so we added this feature called Mercenaries to the game. There's 4 mercenaries that you can recruit. One is Rahir, one is Variana, Subo, and Aldkin, the demon child, which everyone got very excited about at the show the other night. And so there's a lot of depth in mercenaries. So you'll meet Rahir in the campaign. He'll introduce you to this hideout called the Merc Den. And within the Merc Den, you can find these quests. You have to go on these story-based quests to actually acquire the Merc in order for them to party with you. So each Merc has his own backstory, his own personality. And then once you acquire them, you can bring them into your party with you. And essentially it facilitates a way that solo players never have to feel like they're alone again. Because now they have this friend, this partner who can adventure with them. And so one of the ways that you progress your Merc is you have each Merc has their own skill tree. And you can sort of pick and choose which skills you want them to have. And it's a really nice way to complement your build. So whatever build you're trying to go with, you can have the Merc set up so their skills kind of match and overlap with your own. We also have a system called Rapport. The more you work with a Merc and the more you adventure with them, the more they can sort of give you more benefits and they can kind of grow in power. And so once you go back to the Merc Den, you can actually get custom rewards that you can only get by progressing your Merc, building up that rapport in order to access these really awesome rewards at the end.
And then, so I'm going to have to be best friends with a demon child if I want to see the good stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm in.
And then this last feature we have is called reinforcements, where let's say you don't want to have a Merc in your party at the all the time. You can actually say, when I use this skill or perform an evade or something like that, I want this reinforcement Merc to jump on the field, perform an action, and jump back out again. Yeah. So there's a lot of depth, a lot of fun, and some great storytelling in the Mercs feature.
Just to check, so Mercs, you can equip one at a time to complement your character, but you can access all of them and try them all out, see which one works best for you.
Correct, and you can mix and match your combos, so you can have 2 Mercs, and one is your main Merc, and one is
that's an interesting element.
And if you're in a party,
I wanted to get into Diablo, and then when I heard all the stuff that was going on with the season,
because there wasn't enough on screen already.
I agree.
It threw me off.
Well, have you got any particular favorite Mercs that you like playing alongside?
For me personally, Rahir, because Rahir's a dad, and his daughter is introduced in the campaign flow. Oh. And so I kind of like associate myself with him because I'm a dad as well. I got 2 boys.
Right.
But also, like, I have a problem when I play Diablo, and I'm always speccing into damage and DPS at the expense of my defensive skills. And so Rahir has this buff called Resiliency, which actually increases your armor, increases your defensive buffs. And so I actually rely on that to stay alive when I'm playing the game.
Nice. Aislinn, how about yourself?
Yeah, I absolutely love Variana. She's just totally wild. She's a butcher who's also a former cannibal.
which is just crazy.
Yeah.
And I love playing aggressively. You know, I love building momentum and moving forward. And she has a kill streak mechanic, and that complements that very nicely.
I like it. Rod?
I mean, the Demon Child. I think it's such a unique character in our world, and that explosive power, and the fact that it has the sort of the two sides, the human side and the demon side, is really cool to sort of complement the variety on the battlefield.
Okay, well, you've picked 3. I'll take the one left over.
Yeah, Subo.
Yeah, I'll pick Subo.
I mean, who doesn't love a drunken archer, really? I mean, that's...
Exactly.
You know,
Thank you. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, but now, as promised, why don't we cover some behind-the-scene looks at the making Diablo IV Vessel of Hatred. Check this out.
So, I can check that out. I'm a babble a little bit more. Excuse me. Yeah, so... And I'll put the captions up too so you guys can see the captions. So Ghost of New Orleans, shout out to you, long time no see, my good friend. Thank you for joining us. Says probably no Forza since a mode was announced. I don't know. I don't know if this is it. Like, we have yet to see the Forza team come out and say anything. And what they normally do is they let the teams announce this. Like, Phil is trying to step back away from this. Phil is trying to step back from everything. Like, shout out to Oliver Darko, another PlayStation troll out there on Twitter. And they made a very keen observation. They said, hey, have you guys noticed that you don't hear Phil Spencer like tweeting or saying anything anymore? Like, he's just
they just observed that. Bro, I was telling you multiple times, Phil, stop doing shit.
Well, Phil, I'll say this: Phil he's been slowing down his communication for some time now, but he's gone to a complete halt. Like, I don't pay attention to Phil's tweets all like that unless he says something goofy, but he's come to a complete halt. He's gone from slowing down and not really saying anything to now he's not saying anything. And Oliver pointed it out and was like, yeah, he's not saying a word on Twitter. And I'm like, yeah, that's true, because I don't necessarily follow his tweets. But I think Phil is like stepping back from all this, and he's just letting everybody else fall on the sword. Like, right now, he has to be there while they're going through this super transitional period where people are, on Suey watch and, looking at their bottle of Advil, like, I might do the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, they're really in a bad headspace right now. So I think he's going to be present during that transition, but he's pulling back, man. And so therefore goes to New Orleans. I don't think that he's going to go and make the announcement. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to have, I don't even know what studio does Forza Horizon. He's going to have them do it. So I don't think I'm not sure if we've heard the end of all the Forza Horizon announcements for today. I don't know. But we'll see. All right, we'll put this back on.
Introduces you to the Mercenary Network.
Sarah is the president of Xbox now, but we want to hear from Phil. Phil is the one that should answer for everything.
Out of the main melee in the back.
I don't think he is anymore, brother.
Range support.
Then we have Ariana.
He's diverting. Remember, he put this on
range. Got a really cool combat meter, a massacre meter where you need to keep killing enemies to get the meter.
He talked about
it's got a bunch of really interesting utility skills that you can kind of build in.
When he talked about Doom, this is how I knew.
A magic user who can transform himself from human form to demon form and join you in combat.
Deflect and divert attention to someone else. When he was asked about Doom,
you can take one of the mercenaries.
He said, "Yeah, I went to Marty Stratton, and Marty said, yeah, let's." I was like, I asked Marty, "What did you want to do?" And Marty said, "Yeah, let's put it on play." That's bullshit.
Vessel of Hatred. One of the things we are expanding on is the skill tree. For Diablo 3, you had a very basic type of mercenary.
They made the decision.
But this time, you can actually push
at Phil's level and above. They made the decision,
and make
he told
the
Marty, "This is what
the way you would want to play."
Going through each mercenary progression arc and outfitting their skill tree so that it's complementary to your character build, I think that's where the fun in the mercenary
system. To be fair,
really
isn't Sarah president of Xbox now? Yeah, Sarah is president.
The Dark Citadel is a new in-game feature that's coming in Vessel of Hatred. It's an entirely cooperative
at the level that he's at now. He's supposed to take more of a background normally,
based around you working together with your party members to solve the challenges and face the first
what Cold Blood was speaking to.
One of the outcomes of the Matrix
is that Phil made so many promises,
and all the souls that were kind of lost in it from those wars.
The goal of the first cover.
He made so many promises that he can't just.
They use
it's going to be hard for him to just back away from this without answering for the promises that he made.
Their dark god.
Only recently, people have started going missing.
It feels like that region, what Phil is trying to do.
Again. So it's clear that whatever they're planning is about to come to fruition, and your job as the players to get in there and stop it.
Citadels are a place where we take.
He's trying to say, look, man,
combat, and we test it.
I didn't want to do this.
Which is adding in
I didn't want to, you know what I mean?
That you have to manage on top of that.
For example, a boss.
I didn't want this, and I didn't want that, and this isn't what I was really looking forward to doing.
So there's a little bit of a Twitch level mechanic there, where you actually have to time your reaction shot.
And he can't do that.
People in there.
He can't do that. He can't just step away like that and say, "Oh, this is not what I wanted to do."
You can't do that kind of thing without coordinating as a team, and that's sort of the example of what Citadel gameplay feels like.
When designing the Citadel,
because it is what he wanted to do, because he's the one.
What we did is we took that design and made like armor sets for each of the classes.
All right, let me
that way you feel like you took their armor and
then I promise I'll shut up. I think we're hearing a lot of things here. We're hearing people say stuff like, "This wasn't Phil's fault. Phil was pushed into this." No, that's not how business works. And Tim Dog solidified this yesterday. He broke it down. I feel like maybe it's me having difficulty breaking it down in layman's terms. That's why a lot of people that listen to me break it down just ignore it. But Tim did a great job, I think, in the interview. That's why you guys need to listen to that interview. He said, look, yes, when Microsoft looked at ABK and all the implications and the fact that, hey, like, for instance, ABK makes its money off of being multiplat. If we put them on the least selling console, like, not only are our Microsoft numbers going to look bad, but our ABK numbers are going to look bad. Like, everything is going to look bad, and we can't afford that right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave ABK as is, and then we might have some of this other legacy stuff that was supposed to be exclusive follow the route of ABK, so we can catch back up and make some of this money back. Yes, that did come from the top as far as like reevaluating everything and then trying to mimic more of a multi-plat strategy. You know, in a lot of ways, that pressure did come from the top. But the reason why that pressure went from, look, it went from just ABK is going to be multi-plat to now you're seeing Bethesda games go multi-plat, when Phil promised you that the Bethesda purchase was to make exclusive content for Game Pass and wherever Game Pass was. Those is almost his exact words verbatim. So now that you got Bethesda stuff and Sea of Thieves and other things going, how did that happen? Yes, Microsoft pressured to keep ABK multiplat, but how did everything else that Microsoft was doing go multiplat? Here's how. Q and Satya. Hey Phil, look, I'm looking at ABK and like they're fucking knocking it out of the park. And we look at what you did with Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, the fucking black chickens and pigs are running around, and this shit looks stupid. But ABK, they're killing it on PlayStation. They sell a gazillion copies of every game, and what are we going to do with this other business, Phil? What this other business is not running well? What are we going to do? And in that scenario, like Tim Dog has described previously, Phil just went with the low-hanging fruit. He didn't say, all right, let me sit with my team for about 30 days. Nobody's going to see their family. Everybody's going to have to check into hotels. We're going to be living off of pizza and Mountain Dew until we figure this out. And I'll come back to you, Satya. Just give me like 30 days to figure this out. And no, I'm not saying anything extreme, because that's what the fuck I've had to do before when we've had to come down to and make difficult business line decisions. Nobody goes home. You live on the outskirts of town, that's going to affect your travel, then you get a fucking hotel. Company pays for it. And you guys will do your jobs, your normal jobs from 8 to 5, and then from 5 to midnight, you're sitting in the office, in conference rooms, eating pizza, whatever, but pictures of coffee all over the place. People running to the bathroom and shitting it out and coming right back to the fucking conference room. All that is happening for as long as it needs to in order to figure out a new way out of this dilemma that you're in, right? That's how it's supposed to work. I don't know if they did that. It doesn't sound like they did that at all. Because what did Tim Dog say? Tim Dog alluded that what Phil did is just simply went for the low-hanging fruit. Okay, well, it sounds like we're going to have to put everything on, let's put the legacy shit on PlayStation 2. He went with the low-hanging fruit with that. He went with the low-hanging fruit with Crackdown. He went with the low-hanging fruit for Scalebound. He went with the low-hanging fruit for Fables Legends. He always goes with the low-hanging fruit. Like whenever his back is up against the wall, he doesn't try to push back too far. He's just like, fuck it. Okay, if that's what you're insinuating, that's what we need to do. And that's not a good, shrewd businessman to handle the dilemma that he's in. And he's not the only one that's been in the dilemma. I don't know any other CEO that had a bigger fucking dilemma in gaming and was able to pull and steer things out of that dilemma than Jack Tretton. And he's not one of my favorite CEOs. I don't think he had the best and brightest ideas. But if there was a CEO that was built on fixing shit and turning things around, it was Jack Tretton. With the PlayStation 3, it couldn't have got any worse. The first time that PlayStation was down and being outperformed by somebody else, developers were coming in left and right. This thing is trash. You need to just make a new console. We're not making stuff for this console. Then they fucking had a DDoS hack that hampered your ability to go online when online gameplay was getting huge. They were losing billions and billions of dollars, and Sony's not as big as Microsoft. They couldn't afford to do it. They were in deep trouble. They did what I said. You could tell they did it. People didn't go home. They sat in conference rooms. They slept at the job until they figured it out. In the last few years of the PlayStation 3, they were able to turn it around, and it was the red carpet to their dominance of the PlayStation 4. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about Phil had it so hard. It's so fucking hard. This ain't fair. Fuck that. Nobody had it harder than Jack Tretton. And it didn't take him 10 years to keep fucking up. He did it in like 2-3 years. Their fucking technology was the worst. That's how they got hacked. That's how they got the DDoS hack. Their online solution was piss poor. Porting was disgusting and unbearable. Price was too fucking high. Everything that could go wrong with a console went wrong with PlayStation 3. And in 2 years, he turned it around. And they didn't have $80 billion checks behind him. Nobody wrote him a $2 billion check because of a ring of death. You motherfuckers out there that are making excuses for this millionaire, you need a CAT scan. You're sick in the fucking head. This dude had 10 years to turn this around. His contemporaries only had a couple years. Far worse situations. I mean, did TV create a bad launch? Did they lose the lead? Yeah, but could they have turned it around and still been competitive? Absolutely. There's no other answer but Phil is bad at this. No, he's horrible at this. He's someone that loves gaming. Absolutely, he loves gaming. He likes to play a bunch of shit. I've never heard Phil say that there's a bad game. And from the outside looking in, that's so sweet and so adorable. This exec who loves everything gaming. He's like a politician with a baby. Mwah, kiss the baby, right? He loves everything. Everything is beautiful and wonderful. But when it comes to AAA gaming, you gotta be able to have a critical eye. That's where he falls short. That's why everything is falling the fuck apart. He does not have a critical eye. He told you Crackdown 3 was progressing well and it was becoming the game that you deserved. Pick up Crackdown 3 and play it if you haven't. If you just started this generation. If you think I'm bullshitting, pick it up and play it and look at it. Like after you make sure you got a bucket beside you. And after you throw up several times, I want you to look at the game, just look at the case and say to yourself, this is the game that Phil Spencer said I deserved. Then ask yourself, is this the guy that should be running a AAA company? A AAA gaming company? Or AAA gaming platform? Is this the guy that's going to take us to the promised land? That's why we tried to tell y'all back then. So no, Phil is not absolved. Yes, was there pressure from Satya? Was there pressure from Amy? Absolutely. But Phil's the subject matter expert. He's the SME, it's an industry term. He's the gaming guy. And Phil doesn't get paid a whole bunch of money to get told what to do. So did he have an opportunity to submit a different plan, to submit a different presentation, to submit and create a different outcome? Absolutely. Of course, as time went on and he kept doing stuff and he just kept abysmally failing more and more and more. Of course, the room around him started to close in, but he doesn't get paid money just to be told what to do. He's a decision maker as well. So it's like, Phil, ABK's coming in. ABK it's killing it, Phil. ABK it's destroying it. It's God. Like, look at this shit, man. What are we going to? What is your next step? How do we keep legacy Xbox up to par with ABK? All right, well, fucking Satya, just put that on PlayStation 2. Again, from all internal sources, including Tim Dog, and just my keen eye doing business for over 25 plus years, he just went for the low-hanging fruit. That's all. Because when his back is up against the wall like Jack Trenton, he doesn't know what to do. There's exuberant amount of pressure on him now. You saw those emails. He told Amy and Satya, I'm really confident over our consoles now. We got the better this and the better that, and it's going to be spectacular, spooferific. Oh, you saw that dumb, goofy-ass fucking email. You're telling them this shit. You got nothing launching but the fucking Falconer, and nothing against those guys. I love Wired, P, and all that. Those are great guys, but you're launching a AAA next-gen console, and you're launching with the Falconer? Again, nothing against you guys. You guys did what you're supposed to do. You put out an awesome indie title for an indie demographic. It was not the game to launch the world's most powerful console. Godfall may have not been the best game, but at least it was graphically impressive. That's what you're supposed to do. Perfect Dark may have not been the best game, but it was graphically impressive. That's what you're supposed to do at console launches. You're supposed to show.
No,
show
they did the right thing. No, they did the right thing. They launched an indie game for the weakest console ever.
He said they did show you the power. They did show you the power. Yeah. I just, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you guys. Besides, you're going to hear a lot of shit. You're going to hear a lot of excuses. But one excuse that you should not fall into is this excuse of it's not Phil's fault. It's not Phil's fault. It's not Phil's fault. It's Microsoft. Matter of fact, fuck it. Let's close this poll. Because we got a decent amount of votes. Do you think Forza Horizon 5 will be announced for PlayStation during show? 53% said yes, 47% said no. We're going to end that poll. We're going to do another poll. Who do you blame? Who do you blame for Xbox's current woes? I'm going to say Phil Spencer. Xbox leadership. Satya. Della. And Microsoft. And I'll do it like this. Since hold on. Who do you blame? Who do you blame for Xbox's fall from grace with community since ABK deal? No. With community. Xbox's recent. I'll put Xbox's recent because I don't want to. That's like a slow ball for Satya with community. Okay. I'm curious, who do you guys blame for Xbox's recent fall from grace with community? Is it Phil Spencer and Xbox leadership or Satya Nadella and Microsoft's leadership? Like, do you guys really, I'm curious, do you guys really think that Microsoft just came in there and said, Phil, you have to do exactly this. I may have hinted to that in the past, but they've put pressure on Phil, and I think Tim Dog pretty much laid a more accurate perspective on this, and that accurate perspective is these decisions in the way that they've been doled out. There may have been pressure from Microsoft to go a certain way, but Phil is the CEO. It's his job to sit and figure out, okay, this is the pressure. This is the situation that we're in. And here are the tangible responses to said pressure. And they said every single time he, went in the most obscure lane that hurt gamers. Like Microsoft didn't say, hey, Phil, you got to close down Fable Legends. Microsoft didn't say, Phil, you got to close down Crackdown. They gave him margins. They said, these are the numbers that you got to make. And this is where we got to, go back on. And that's where he decided to cut. And they kept Crackdown. Now, granted, Terry Myerson believed in Crackdown. And he did defend Phil in trying to keep it going. But that could have been to his behoovement as well, because he's no longer there. He got released for some other stuff too, some stuff to do with some chipsets and things like that with Windows. But I think after backing Phil, because everybody makes it seem like that Terry Myerson hated Phil and just wanted to take Xbox's budget money and all this other crazy shit they were saying. No, it was more or less Terry Myerson wasn't the biggest gaming enthusiast either. So Satya knew that, and that's why he put Phil under Terry, because he was like, if anybody's going to rein in on this division and make sure that they don't spend too much money, it's going to be Terry. Now, I will say this, though. I will say this. It's something to be said. And I want you guys to think about this as you're hitting this poll. And trust me, we're going to get back to this. They're just doing a whole bunch of bibble babble about Diablo. But there is something to be said when Phil is the CEO, but pretty much all of the most powerful and impactful decisions that helped Xbox grow may not necessarily been the best for the gamer, but the most powerful decisions that helped Xbox grow came from Satya, and all of the decisions that made Xbox, that hurt Xbox, came from Phil. Like, let me give you an example of why I say Phil is admonished of this. When you look at the things that have pulled Xbox out of the jaws of death, they don't come from Phil. What am I talking about? Well, first we got to start with PlayFab and then Minecraft. Satya was involved in Minecraft's purchase. They were negotiating and trying to purchase Minecraft before Satya even became CEO. And then once he became CEO, he was familiar. That was part of his gaming experience as far as negotiations were concerned. So he went and he continued. Now, again, shout out to Cold Blood. He talked about it, this before, and something I had totally forgot about because I haven't covered it for several years. But one of the reasons that Satya wanted to go after Minecraft is that he had a big affinity for Matt Booty at the time. And he really thought that placing Matt Booty with Phil Spencer would take the gullibility of Phil Spencer, the yes man-ish, and the charm that Phil Spencer has with the community, and combine it with somebody that he thought was a little bit more competent when it came to picking, to being having a better eye in picking out games. So Matt Booty was really a Satya pick. But before all that went down, Satya went to Phil and said, hey, do you still want to go after Minecraft? And Phil agreed. It wasn't, hey, Phil, we're getting Minecraft, so get ready. No, he went to Phil and said, you want to get Minecraft? And Phil agreed. So Satya brought that to the table. All right, we talk about Game Pass. Now, Game Pass hasn't been the hugest success, but it is the thing that has kept Microsoft's name being talked about, even though they have not competitively been a spark. And it has influenced some things in gaming. You can reasonably say that the new PlayStation Plus tiers or whatever are, their version of Game Pass's offering without the money gouging day and date approach, right? Okay, fine. That wasn't a Phil thing either. Game Pass came about because Satya said to everybody at Microsoft at the time, this was an industry common thing. Why should you exist? Like, why should we keep you here? Why should I not go with somebody else? And everybody had to come up with, answer that question. And then they had to answer how they could integrate subscription and cloud. So as every head of a department had to figure out, why should they still be around and can they do subscription and cloud? That's how Game Pass was born. That comes from Satya. Bethesda, well, no, I'll put Bethesda to ABK. ABK happens, again, because Satya's writing a check. Now, there's all this bad stuff happening since ABK, but why is ABK important? Financially, it's the only thing that's legitimately saying why Xbox should still be open, why Xbox shouldn't close today. It's ABK. Even Bethesda. Phil negotiated Bethesda. Yeah, Phil did the negotiations because that's his fucking job. They're not buying Bethesda without Satya wanting to do so. What sparked Satya wanting to do so? And I've talked about this time and time again. Him realizing that from a gaming perspective, gaming has a bigger impact on cloud business. That's Satya's baby, is cloud business. Right? So because that's Satya's baby, when he ran into 2019, when he found out that he could have done more to get closer and close the gap of Azure cloud versus AWS, and he realized that he didn't do better because Minecraft, their game, was still operating in part on AWS servers, he flipped the fuck out. If you look at the timeline from when all that happened, he sends Phil out there. Now he's awakened. Now he understands, holy shit, this cloud gaming thing could have a bigger impact than I ever understood. Like, we need to sew up everything that we can, because cloud gaming activity is going to impact the cloud servers that we're on. So these big games we got to get in front of, and these big business partnerships that are happening at our competitors, we got to do something about them. So the strategy went from, we're going to mimic Amazon and Google and do it the Microsoft way. He said, no, we got a whole new strategy. We now got to cut them off at the knees. He sent Phil Spencer out there. Phil Spencer was talking about, we don't trust Amazon and Google. Then a couple of months later, they totally shut down Mixer. Fuck it, we're not playing that game. We're using this money for something else. Several months later from that, guess what they do? They buy Bethesda. Why was the Bethesda purchase so important? Because we talked about this with Tim Dog. Bethesda's purchase was so important because not only did they flex their muscle and intimidate a lot of people at Stadia, but more importantly, they stopped a major partnership between Bethesda and Stadia. There was a program or a tool called Orion that they were working on. Orion is being rumored of being part of the Stadia 2.0, the thing that when Stadia was on stage talking about the 8K 120 capabilities, Orion was going to be the tool that helped stabilize that, because they already had it running. We talked to developers that said they had it running, but they said it was unstable, and they were working on ways of stabilizing it. And it was rumored that Orion was part of that stabilization process. Well, Microsoft buys Bethesda, that's over with. That's blow number one. It was such a blow that it made Phil Harrison throw the keys back to Dov Zimmerig, the co-founder of Stadia, and say, I'm out. I'm going back to UK. You figure out a way to do something with this. Because in his eyes, he had said, why bother? He saw no point in it anymore. He tried to talk to Google to get Fortnite. They laughed at him. Now this. And he probably said, well, what are we going to do in response? And they probably said, nothing. We're not writing checks that big. And then he said, well, you know what? Why bother? I'm out. Hey, Zov, here goes your keys back to your thing. I'm going back to UK and my family. That's why Satya, it was so it was death blow. It was the critical blow, number one, to making Stadia even potentially a threat in the future. The death blow was ABK, because you took their Call of Duty business. Google at the time, Google Cloud had Call of Duty business, and Call of Duty was huge for them. So it wasn't about Stadia. It was just like Google had to. They said, look, Microsoft is out here buying all this business that's relative to the cloud. They're pushing us further and further away in the race for the cloud. We need to get away from the Stadia thing right now and focus on something else. And that's where they came up with Google Games for Cloud. And they went whining and bitching to FTC and to CMA and to anybody that would listen. And it was effective. The FTC part wasn't effective, but the CMA part was definitely effective, because that's what blocked the deal. That's what totally turned ABK deal sour for Microsoft, is Google. So they got the last laugh. But that's why Satya did all this. And even though things turned sour with the ABK deal, there is no denying that Xbox is in a worse state without it. All right, we got Stalker 2 up in here. I'm very interested in this. Let me shut up and let's watch what they're saying about Stalker 2.
We are happy for what we bring here and what we get the first impression from the players and the press. And for now, I'm happy from what they are telling us about the Xbox. The previous was a year ago when we bring our demo, which was showing just on
into the gameplay that you're going to talk us through. So anyone watching who's excited to see Stalker 2 for the first time, if they haven't already, can see what they're going to be getting their hands on. So what are you are we going to bring the gameplay up? So we've got it on our screens. So as we go, if you want to talk us through this gameplay, so we can know what we've got coming up.
Yeah. I'll take this part. So here the player is doing his first quest, and he got a scanner, a device. Player at this point doesn't know a lot about how it works and what it's for. He just got information that it somehow recharged an artifact that's put it inside it, and that if it got successful, it's gonna bring a lot of lot of, let's say, money.
Yeah.
Maybe something else. So at this point, player don't know what is the goal of the character, why he's doing it, and he's
this is on PC too.
The story about your character also by doing this quest line.
Because this is actually the bit that they've got on the show floor here, isn't
Yes.
it? At the start of the game. Because I had so much fun. I get what you mean as well when you're just trying to discover what exactly it does, and the storyline sets that up. But what about the combat in the game as well? Because we can kind of see our first fight here.
Yeah. So it's a group of bandits. They were resting just nearby in their camp and doing their cheeky-breaky stuff. And then they saw that something happened. A wall was destroyed with a huge noise. They just turned up going to see what's happening and found you, a player, and
it's amazing as well, because I found myself when I was playing this I was like the flashlight turning on and off, and like you can also like lean round corners, can't you, to kind of like engage fights from like a bit of cover.
Yeah, so it's very
Is
important.
it just me, or does this look graphically unimpressive?
Hide a lot. You should use your med kit.
This doesn't look graphically impressive at all.
Because AI is very pushing and challenging.
Yeah.
They're trying to outcome you, to go from other side, and it's pretty stressful. So it's a first fight. It's very simple fight against
John Lenneman
bandits, but
had talked about. He just sent out a tweet where he said he played it and he was impressed.
Several deaths.
It's very unfair.
I can't imagine why.
I found that it's like a big part of the game
this is
like
either
looting.
a very
So
bad
what
stream,
kind of things should people be looking out for when they're looting?
and looks
so
like this, bro, or
part of the game. So
just
while we are
because
fighting, we
nighttime,
are losing
and you don't
our
see much.
resources, consumables, food, ammo.
I'm
up to
still
the fight
looking at
finish,
surface
we have
stuff,
to
and it just
get
doesn't
through
look
the,
good.
dead bodies' pockets
To me.
find
I'm
some
looking at
ammunition,
foliage
maybe
and it
loot
just-
their
it
camp
looks-
to restore what we just spent. Because without it,
Like that, I'm wondering if that's like an old build.
The player would be like stuck.
Because that's the big thing I have.
just wonder why they would bring an
am very
old build
trigger happy
like
when
that
it comes to
to- I
first-person
don't know.
shooters. Like I fire way more bullets than I should, and then I found
I mean,
myself.
don't get me
as well, I
wrong,
was
like,
I need to go check every
Since
building that
the
I can
launch of the
because I
series
need more ammo.
X, this is
Like,
my most
what kind of
anticipated
advice would
game.
you say for players
Like,
hopping
seriously.
into Stalker 2
From
spend their
Xbox.
time in the world.
So the
You
reason
know,
why
really,
you
this
should,
ain't from Xbox and shit, but still.
discover and look for some stashes in locations.
But this is the biggest exclusive to me
but because it's
that I personally was interested
discover
in.
this abandoned place where was some living some time ago, and where is some story behind it. And when you are just walking around and looking for the corners, and it's beautiful there, you can surprisingly find something stashed there. Because it's an Stalker stashes. They use some stashes for their next journeys, because they can bring like hundreds of thousands of kilograms. They have to make some stashes for there, and players.
I'm pretty sure they're going to
sometimes
release some other footage
and
though, and I'll watch
often
that. I
rewardable,
think that for some reason they got like
and
an
often
old
it's
build showing.
very
I don't
rewardable,
know.
because you can get a huge equipment boost by just going to some building you didn't expect to find anything there, but it could be there.
That's what I found. I found myself like an assault rifle when I just had a pistol to start with. I was like exploring buildings and found that. But the game also, it looks amazing.
Yeah, this is the start of a next fight. The player, we have some stealth mechanics.
Yeah.
So it's not very as you used to have a stealth in the game. It doesn't offer you like ability to be invisible for enemies. No, they will see you and shoot you. But at least it allows you to get slightly closer, to find better position to start the fight, and or maybe to initiate the fight with a grenade, so it would be easier for you. And then the fight is pretty challenging.
Yeah.
And you have to watch your hit points and your state, because you could get bleeding, and you have to use a bandage to stop this bleeding, because it's not it's gonna last for long, and you're gonna lose a lot of hit points if you not stop and use the bandages.
Yeah, because you have multiple ways of healing, don't you? You've got like the bandages to stop the bleeding, but there's like different types of med kits that you can find as well.
You can have a regular med kits, medical med kits, and an army med kit.
Yeah.
And they provide additional boosts, but mostly it's restoring the hit points. But also, if you are not in the fight and you just need to recover a small portion of health, you can just eat, and it will also bring you a small portion of hit points.
See, that's what I loved as well. I found like there's so much resource management that you have to like pay attention to in Stalker, which really gives you a different challenge. So it's like you said, if you don't eat, you're going to perform worse in gunfights.
Yeah, so you have to watch about your state, just like you're watching about yourself. So we try to bring this simulation or atmosphere as you being the real human that goes to Chernobyl exclusion area with your backpack, with some food, and you just have to do the same things to survive in the game as in life, because you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to like you fall, you broke your leg, you have to use some medkits to survive this, and that's what we are doing here.
Yeah, no, I honestly, like, it's one of those things. I'd recommend it to anyone. If you haven't had the chance to just play the original Stalker as well, because when I got to play here, you just think and approach gunfights so differently, because there is that like risk element, and some of the enemies, like I was jumping out of my skin because there was like a camouflaged opponent that I came across in the demo here at Gamescom. And like, can you tell us a little bit more about the enemies that we're going to face?
Yeah, so the zone is inhabited by different factions. There are factions that came from the first Stalker trilogy, and there are new factions, and they have a story behind them of how they appear, what is their goals, and for the player, it would be interesting to uncover and discover these stories. And it's important to mention that from one walkthrough, the player won't know the whole story.
Yeah.
So you had to have several walkthroughs to get all these pieces together, or you could discuss it with your friend who choose some other path, and you can share the information about what you see to each other, and you discover, I didn't expect that it would happen like this.
Yeah.
So it's...
I don't know. People have been rumoring 3 months, 6 months. I think it's like 6 months at the most.
Their experience.
That's the longest I heard was 6 months.
Yeah, we also saw just beforehand, right, we can actually see the scanner going on right now. Can you talk us through this?
It's Echo Scanner. It's a simple scanner. You just beep, and the faster it beeps, the nearest is an artifact.
Yeah.
You can collect an artifact just by using scanner. And at this point, player faced that Bloodsucker. It's a canonical enemy in Stalker series. He has an ability to become invisible for player. And we found that from the feedback of the players and from what we see, that he's doing quite challenging thing for the players. And but also it's very rewarding, because when you start playing the game and you start facing some challenge for the first time, you may
they readjusted the price.
After it becomes easier for you, and at some point you become master.
They readjusted the price of these consoles.
It takes time to learn the game.
The Series S,
me. Like, honestly,
1 terabyte is $349.
At first I was like, what's attacking
the Series X, 1 terabyte is $449.
Suddenly realized I'm a camouflaged opponent attacking me.
Series X,
like,
2 terabyte
in this game though,
is
there are so many
$599.
challenging enemies.
Wasn't
like,
it the 2 terabyte $649?
Whether you're fighting bandits, whether you're like fighting these sort of enemies. And then I was like looting everything. I became like a loot goblin, where I was going into every building and just trying to find as many medkits so that I could stay alive.
What'd you say?
And there is also...
It's still not enough. The 2 terabyte Xbox should have been $300 maximum.
Near the locations.
It's
not a main quest. It's often not a side quest. It's just some encounters or narrative little stories to bring you an experience of discovering this real location, real zone, and it's not a fake world. It's full of small pieces.
Yeah.
And for me, I find it very interesting to discover. Even if I know the game pretty much, still the world map is so huge. So even for me, going back to some locations make me feel, oh, I didn't expect to find it here. Or they bring something here also. So for me, it's also like I feel the same wow effect when I discover something for me.
You really get rewarded for spending that time to look around the world and kind of try and find those caches, and it's going to pay dividends.
Yeah, it's one of the main goal in making this game is to bring as much freedom and allow player to be as he wants to be or she wants to be, to play the role they feel that works for them, and the player could like start being very rude and cruel, and they can act totally different in this game as
just
like
get a community manager for these kind
on the
of
friendly
people.
side.
Yeah.
So, there are a lot of freedom.
Like, I understand that they want
and it's rewarding. So even
the developer to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
But goddamn, he's so bad at it, bro.
I was just about
100%.
to say.
And I think one of the main things is for everyone who's been watching and wants to get their hands on the game.
We got the closed caption up. Yeah, this is kind of brutal. I was just about to interject. Yeah, so Stalker, people are saying good things about it. I'm looking at this trailer. I'm thinking maybe it's just an old build or whatever. I can't wait to get a hold of it. You know what I mean, and play it. These are the type of games that are right up my alley. Hold on.
Of course, it launches day and date on Xbox Game Pass as well. But now to a new line of Xbox accessories, making a splash here at Gamescom.
They're
Take a
talking
look.
about Xbox.
Thank you so much,
accessories.
DJ.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, now back to the point that I was making. Well, let's go to the chat. Let's see what the chat has to say. All games are coming to PlayStation. Writing is on the wall. Make great games and people will come. Just ask Black Myth Wukong. John Gray says, yeah, Ron Slusher, seems like it for sure. Xbox has 35 plus studios. Where are the must-play bangers? Why am I down here? Did I press something? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say about Xbox and I don't know what to say about Xbox and their ability to create great content, besides that they can't. We talked about it before where I said, look, Xbox they have a horrible time in fucking with things and absorbing companies and then not being able to do any good. Like, what is the point of ABK besides it's helping Microsoft's bottom line? That is the only good thing with ABK, is that it helps Microsoft's bottom line. And that's when I say good, that's the only thing the good thing you could come up with. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we get any added benefit outside of, again, like I said, the few niche people within the game industry that use Game Pass. All right, so we got they're talking about the accessibility stuff again. Apple. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys that are expecting Microsoft. Like, again, we'll see what happens with Avowed. I don't have a lot of faith in it personally, because I'm not big on Obsidian's first-person adventure games. That's just me. But it's a lot of it's a lot of AA stuff with wannabe AAA polish and a lot of dialogue, and that's not for me. That being said, it might be a cool game, whatever, but outside of that, there's really nothing in the Xbox camp to me that's going to look exciting. There's the potential of stuff. There definitely is. Like, I still like machine games. There's still studios in Bethesda that I think can make some decent stuff, but that stuff is definitely going multi-plat. That's about it. It's a couple in Bethesda. There's, of course, Activision Blizzard is going to make their Call of Duties, their Diablos. I really don't know if anybody else can make anything else that's going to interest me. And really, in my mind, the best thing that I see coming out of Xbox from launch, outside of potentially Starfield, but we see how that panned out. The best thing is Stalker, and that's a timed exclusive for it's not even a year from what we hear. It's like anywhere between 3 to 6 months. So I don't know, man. I don't know what people are expecting out of Xbox. I don't know why they think Xbox is going to come from the shadows and all of a sudden do something better. I don't know what you guys are looking at. I don't know what you guys see. But it's clearly not going to be, it clearly isn't a platform that is strong enough to bring people to an isolated platform. So they will have a platform, but they're going to mainly distribute their games elsewhere. That's how they're going to push their stuff. They're just going to be a big studio, and hopefully in their eyes, when they push stuff into different, when they push stuff on their own platform, that'll satisfy the people that want to play Fortnite, Roblox, Apex Legends, you know what I'm saying, the Leviathan games, where I think they're still going to work to have copies and versions of those, natively on their hardware. I don't know what they're going to do. Well, Grand Theft Auto is going to release for Xbox. I think that's still going to happen. But like when future Rockstar games don't drop day and date, here's what I believe is going to happen with Xbox hardware. I don't believe they're going to have an isolated console. They're going to have hardware, meaning their hardware is going to be able to play all this stuff from the PC pipeline. Like you'll be able to play whatever's on Steam, whatever's on Epic, wherever, GOG, whatever. You're going to be able to play, and then whatever's in the Windows Store. So you're going to have access to all those, right? And there's not going to be native Xbox versions anymore of stuff. I don't feel. Again, it's going to be whatever's offered on the Windows Store. And my thing is, okay, if that's the case, then what are you going to do about Grand Theft Auto? Because Grand Theft Auto is not going to have a PC version for a while. What are you going to do? I think that's why Xbox is looking into this exploratory committee to try to figure out how they're going to transfer your games over to whatever new hardware they design. Because in a case like that, like if this new Xbox hardware is just a box that is like a Steam box, right? How am I going to play Grand Theft Auto on it? Unless I have a native console version. So how my native console versions are going to be playable on this box? See, they don't make enough sales to justify having a console. See, Xbox is in a dilemma, and this is where I say Phil Spencer makes a lot of money, and he makes too much money to just be told what to do when he's the subject matter expert. It's not like I can understand if Peter Moore was the CEO of Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? If Peter Moore was the CEO of Microsoft and Amy Hood wasn't Amy Hood, it was somebody else that had gaming experience. He's the gaming guy. He's the subject matter expert on all things gaming. So he's not afforded the luxury of just being sat and told what to do. He's given a direction. He's given a ceiling and a floor for funding. And he's given expectations on, what his numbers are going to be quarter to quarter in the fiscal year. Now, they may throw suggestions at him, but if they got to keep throwing suggestions at this dude in order for the business to turn around and he can't come up with anything himself, you got to ask the question, well, what are we paying him for? So that's why I say I don't understand why you guys can't see that it's bigger than just Phil being told exactly what to do lockstep. Like, there's pressure on him. Don't get me wrong. There's absolutely pressure on him. But the way these things pan out is, okay, from all indications, this is the direction we should probably go with all of our stuff. Why shouldn't we do it? And what do you have as a counter measure so we can start because we got to meet these numbers. Our investors require us to meet these numbers. So how can you meet these numbers with your approach? Well, Satya, we can't do it. We're gonna have to meet your numbers with, and that's how pretty much Phil laid it out. That's how it appeared to me that's how he handles this stuff. So for those of you that want to believe that this is all Satya, Nadella, and Amy, you guys aren't looking at the big picture. You're not looking at reality, and you don't understand how business works. That's the more important lesson from this. You're not understanding how business works. So while they're talking about, let me go. I gotta go grab something real quick. Let me grab something, and we'll listen. I'll be right back. We'll listen to them talk about their adaptive controllers, I guess. I don't understand why this was. Okay, that was kind of weird. Play 5.
Creating accessories. You also support partners, third-party developers in bringing their designs to life. So can you share a little bit more who you're partnering with?
Yes. And I will say I am just personally so grateful and excited that we do have so many Design for Xbox partners who are just really committed to making gaming for everyone. Some of the specific partners that we've been working with recently on the accessibility front are BioWave. So back in May, they announced their Proteus controller, which is a modular controller that allows you to really build your own unique setup that works best for you. And very exciting today, that controller is now available. In addition to BioWave, 8BitDo is both announcing and available today their Lite SE wireless controller. So all in all, when it comes to accessibility, a rising tide floats all boats, and we're just excited that our players have more and more options within the Xbox ecosystem to really choose what works best for them.
That's a lot of great news that you have today. So is there any place where we can look up all of the accessibility offerings?
Yes, to find out more about any of this accessible hardware that we've just talked about today, you can see the Xbox Wire blog post. Or if you happen to be here at Gamescom like us, you can visit us in the Here to Help area in the Xbox consumer booth. You can get hands-on with any of the products, do some live demos. And if you're here on Friday, you can see Caitlin in a discussion panel in the community area as well.
Thank you so much to both of you for coming. And also I want to say thank you so much for making our booth accessible so everybody feels welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Maxie.
Yeah.
Coming up, we'll get a look at the first expansion from Starfield, find out what happens when nuclear disaster and the quaint British countryside converge in Atomfall. And Age of Mythology fans, stay tuned. We'll take a look at what you can expect from the latest in the series. But first, it's time to explore ARY26 once again in Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Stuck on a planet with nowhere to poop?
The juiciest burgers in the galaxy. Burger Squirts.
Wacky Extreme Learning Smartbot from Hot Whiz.
Radical. I smush it down my throat.
Our new Ding Dong.
Greetings, brave explorer. We here at Alta Interglobal would like to welcome you to our newest venture, the colonization of space. You've spent almost a century hurtling through the universe in cryosleep, ready to begin your work on this strange alien planet. Unfortunately, changing market conditions have led us to the realization that space exploration is far too costly and unpredictable, and Alta has decided to cancel all future plans in space. I regret to inform you that you have therefore been made redundant. Your final check has been sent. We thank you for your service, and we hope you eventually find a way home. Good luck.
What started as a journey to the Savage Planet has turned into revenge. Here with more on what fans can expect from Revenge of the Savage Planet, please welcome producer Noémie Lecourier and creative director Alex Hutchinson. Thanks so much for joining us.
We're very happy to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
How's your Gamescom going so far?
Very good.
Very good. Busy.
Yes.
It always is. There's so many games to play, so many things to see. But Alex, it's been a journey getting here, and not only to the sequel to fans, but also to evolve the game as a whole. Can you unpack that for us?
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty crazy half a decade for not only us, but for the entire games industry. So we originally began as a studio called Typhoon Studios. We made Journey to the Savage Planet. We were acquired by a large multinational. The pandemic happened. We updated the game, and on the day we shipped, that same multinational made us all redundant. So we found ourselves sitting around trying to figure out what to do. But luckily, we decided to reform. So we're a new studio, Raccoon Logic. And we've made this new game, Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Yeah, and Noémie, can you kind of talk about the world that we live in with Revenge of the Savage Planet? Have we got the gameplay that we can push up? But
before that,
I think Alex is going to talk about
before that. So obviously some of the big changes are that we've switched to third person in this one. It's still a game about exploring the world, interrogating everything that you see. It's filled with wonderful, wacky, weird creatures. It's 4 planets now instead of 1 planet. So there's lots more to do and lots more to see.
Yes, so we basically can survey, scan everything, and collect and catalog. Here, as you explore the world, you're going to discover rewards, things to collect as well. The rewards are blocked by encounters with alien creatures, as well as puzzles and navigation challenges. So lots of fun here.
Yeah.
It looks so cute. Like even the trailer, but in the trailer beforehand, it's like all the creatures. It's like adorable.
And you know it's a sequel when you're swimming.
Just it happens every single time. You've got to add water in. If you go in, no water.
Exactly.
Second time thing. But Alex, there's obviously a ton of creativity by the team to produce an incredible world, but perhaps players' take on its obstacles can be equally as creative. So in the world, like how are players going to approach the obstacles that they face?
Yeah, so we've taken a really systemic approach to open world design. So it's still a Metroidvania. You're still being blocked by different obstacles. You need to go back to your habitat and upgrade your tools to get through them. But what we wanted to do was have a Metroidvania where there's a single lock, but multiple keys. So you see different types of objects. Say if it's a cracked wall that you need to blow up, you could do it with a grenade. You could find a creature that explodes. Anything that generates an explosion will get you through. And so hopefully, as you see in this video, there's a little bit more systemic chaos than most games of its type.
So there's lots of creative ways to kind of like solve the problem.
Exactly.
So you can have a bit of fun with it, and every time you play it as well, you're going to get those different experiences.
Exactly.
Another way players can make their game their own is through customization. You know what I mean? Can you talk us through customization?
Yes, absolutely. So we've added tons of new outfits in the game. You can mix and match between the different outfits. So whether it's the helmet, the boots, or the gloves, all the outfits are inspired by sci-fi themes, famous like Star Trek. Here we can see some of the suits here, as well as like Power Rangers. So
if you put on the red shirt, you get killed immediately in the game, but you reprint.
What have you got wrong with the red shirt?
It's just a trope. It's just a trope.
You also have a habitat where you will find all the main modules, like you see here, the PC that you will use throughout the game. But there's also another section that you can fully customize with lots of things. So as you explore the world, you will find Alta crate containing Alta bucks that you can spend in the Alta store on furniture, accessories, and basically a lot of useless junk to really make the space your own. So I hope players have a lot of fun with that.
It's like my own flat all over
there
again.
You go.
Just lots of stuff from Gamescom will kind of like come with me, and by the end of it I'll have plushies for days. But co-op is such a big part of the game as well. Can you kind of talk us through that, Alex?
Yeah, so a lot of the team members have worked on different two-player co-op games, whether it was Army of Two or Far Cry 4. We've had a lot of success with it. We think it's an intimate way to play with your best friend, your partner, your kid. And this time we've made sure you can do it in any way you can imagine. So there's not only network co-op, but there's split-screen co-op you can play on the couch, and even cross-play, so you can play on any system with any other system.
I love playing split-screen games as well. Like I grew up playing with my brother. Like every single game that we get our hands on to do split-screen, that was always the way I went and played.
Perfect.
Yeah, also, it's so good you've been able to return to this franchise and bring tons to the fans. This game looks so fun, it feels like fun, and went to create it. Alex, can you tell us what you think the magic is for this game and what makes fans love it so much?
I think it's humor. You know, you see a lot of games that are very grey, very brown, very serious, and we wanted to get back to a world that was fun, that was upbeat, that was optimistic. We like the idea of exploring space because it's fun, and you're going to find something exciting. You're not going to find Matt Damon on the moon, you know, eating poop mushrooms or Mars. So, like, hopefully people see that the humor in this is in the gameplay as well as the script, you know? That the joke we always tell is that, you know, I can write a one-liner that's funny once, but slapping your best friend to their death off a cliff is funny forever.
Yeah, you can just kick him off in as many creative ways as possible.
Exactly.
Like, just trying to get through that cracked wall. But also, really importantly, when a player's going to be able to get their hands on the game?
So it's going to come out sometime next year, 2025. For more info, you can go on the website, Savage Planet Game, and the wishlist as well, now.
Please wishlist.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, and honestly, I can't wait to come and have a go with it as well. So Thank you so much for joining us as well. And have you got any final words as well that you want to share with fans?
No, we just please wishlist on whatever platform you like, and we'll show you some more gameplay soon.
No, honestly, Thank you so much. But coming up, we've taken a spin in some new wheels and a turn with a new story in Starfield's first ever expansion, Shattered Space. But first, check out an action-adventure game about hope, robots, and the power of words. This is Dustborne.
We need to stick together. We need to be a crew. We're on the run from people with space guns built into their arms.
Dustborne isn't about making the big and immediate choices. It's about the little things that add up over time.
The words spoken that affect relationships and moods, the decisions that stick with you and play out when you least expect them to, the actions that push your relationships in new directions.
I guess this explains why you're suddenly so eager to chase after the robots.
Oh, keeping secrets again, huh?
It's about making tough choices, about how to deal with the people in your crew, how to manage them, and pull them together to do the job, and to make the compromises necessary to reach the end of the road and your own personal goals.
We'll be taking a different route north, through Liberty, Oregon.
Liberty? I would actually like an explanation.
I concur.
Think of the game as a way to write your own comic book as you play. Each chapter or issue starting with a new cover displaying what you're about to experience, and each of them ending with a comic splash screen. These pages present key choices made in the previous issue that could have an impact later on. Whether a dialogue line or event plays out because of a choice made by the player, an icon will appear in the top right corner of the screen, allowing you to really get a sense of what could have gone differently.
Stop it! Oh, what the hell, Pax?
What now?
Drive. In the comic splash, you'll have access to more data, such as global stats about how many other players received this particular consequence, allowing you to gauge how popular this choice was. Some choices lead to crew mood change, which can have an impact on your relationship with them, but also on their personal endings.
Are you just gonna hover?
We didn't finish our chat?
No, we were finished.
I'm worried about you, and I had more to say.
I'm sure, but I was done.
Every key crew member in the story receives one of 3 endings, or codas, based on choices made and actions taken by the player and Pax. Each coda is illustrated by a comic book-style splash screen, along with unique dialogues and events reflecting each character's current status. The player can at any time access the character codex to see which coda is the current favorite.
The crew respects you. When you're unhappy, they feel it. I'll keep that in mind.
Whenever a dialogue choice or action affects a coda, the screen will display a coda emoji, along with an animation that tells the player how important this choice was. It'll be up to you to decide how the road trip goes and how your relationships will evolve. Will Noam break away from their on-again, off-again relationship with Pax, or embrace it? Will Theo loosen up with the crew, or favor his boss status? Will Ziggy resolve her sister issues with Pax? Discover how it all unfolds in Dustborne. Available now.
What's the name of your band?
We're the Dustborne.
There is a dream that haunts me. A most dreadful nightmare, truly. It tears at me. The fortress of stone and valor, which I struggled to build, is now slowly crumbling into ruin. The land, caught in a perpetual autumn, yields to decay. A futile sacrifice remains ensnared deep within the horns of the self. A shield, now weakened and cracked by time, fails to protect my people. A profound betrayal has befallen those most loyal, yielding only despair. I am left paralyzed, powerless. Not more than helpless. My people, my legacy, everything is collapsing. They hailed me as the once and future king. Only now do I understand the horror of that title.
It's one of my favorite massive open world space adventures, and it's just got its first ever expansion coming up. Here with more on Starfield Shattered Space, please
right, sorry about that, y'all.
Creative producer Tim Lamb. Hi
Cold
Tim,
Blood.
how are you?
I'm doing
I heard you
fantastic.
calling me,
Awesome.
but I was
Lovely to speak
my
to
wife
you
had a
today.
package.
So let's chat.
I forgot all
opening
about
night
it.
Live. We had a really
the
fun
show
look
was starting
at
too.
a very
I mean, I
vibrant
not
trailer
forgot.
about some
I didn't
vehicles.
realize the
Could
show
you
was
tell us a
starting
bit
when it
more about
started.
that?
So
I can. So we released the Rev 8. Super excited. The team is so happy
but I came
to
back
have
right when they're
this
talking about Starfield.
this new element that adds to planet exploration in the game. So we have these
Biggest package.
dynamic worlds with dense terrain, lots of very interesting
Maybe next
obstacles,
time
and like
you tell
now,
us when you come
those
back.
worlds are our playground to drive
What'd you say?
around on.
Heck yeah.
We have a lot
Maybe
of
next time you
in
tell us
navigating that
when
we
you
have
come back.
vertical boosts.
No, I just
forward
came
boosts.
back.
We have a weapon on there. It's like a lot of different.
I just came back.
No, I meant
Just like
the time you
fantastic
need
gameplay opportunities.
when you go
No,
somewhere.
I
Super
didn't.
exciting,
It was
and
coming
Vasco
off a
looked
freight
like he was
truck.
having a
I
good time
couldn't
as
tell
well
you.
back there.
Yes,
Love
yes.
that, love that. Now let's talk
had
a wee
no
bit
idea.
about the story in Shattered Space. It's very dark and mysterious. Could you tell me and everyone watching a little bit more about the story?
If this was a normal
Yeah,
show, I would have
so
just went into
I think there's a
intermission. But
hopeful
because
optimism.
it was a showcase, and I don't know what they're
The
showing.
giant sprawling adventure of Starfield. You go to a lot of different locations. You meet a lot of different types of people. The cast of characters there, and
is
Shattered
this
Space. That tone, that mood. We were able to sort
have
of
no
distill
idea.
it down and focus it into a location in the game around Dazra City. So like we get to meet.
To be honest
that
with
new
you, I'm not
house room,
even
the
watching
people
this
there.
dog shit.
There's a
I'm
moment,
listening
right, that
to
they
it.
had. We get to experience that with them now.
Yeah, they sounded a bit intriguing, shall we say, in the footage that we saw last
I don't know. I mean,
night.
hopefully this
can
is
you
just
tell us a wee
another
bit
15
more
minutes
about
or
the House
something.
of Varun and kind of who will be coming across?
So I don't want to no
I
spoilers.
think at the top of the hour,
You
unless
encounter a derelict
I
star
don't know.
station.
I don't even know if it's
and
worth
this starts you
covering
on your
past
adventure
2 hours.
to meeting the Varun. You end up in their home world, Varun Kai, in the city of Dazra. There's been a catastrophic event. You deal with the minor houses of the faction of House Varun to sort of uncover the mystery of what happened, and then, resolve it as you do as a player.
Nice.
There's lots of choices in there for you.
Okay, very interested to find out what that story kind of leads us on to as well. Very good. Along with that story that we've been chatting about, there are some new game features as well as a huge new planet that we can explore. Could you tell us a bit more about those too?
So we have the city of Dazra. We focused, all of our effort has really been focused on the area around the city. So I think the beauty of it is that there's exploration.
I gotta show some
you can find nooks and crannies in the game, or little secret discoveries, or locations you feel like I know I'm coming back here. So there's like an excitement there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that. I'm just like I'm
The
so
only
excited
way
about it.
Starfield could become interesting as it
well.
is.
I mean,
with
even in
Mars.
the trailer, we saw kind of a very summery, beachy vibe cruising around on our Rev 8 too. Have you taken it for a spin?
I have. No, I do. And I think Shattered Space is like a fantastic playground for it. Now, you can take the Rev 8 to any planet.
Yeah.
You can take it into Varun Kai, Varun's home world, and drive it there as well. But like we support, I think that's one of the great things about
If I
our
have
games
Game
is,
Pass,
we support
I
any
can't
type
get
of
the
play
best
style.
out of this game.
So it's like you can play with it, you can play without it, you can take it to Varun Kai, you cannot take it there.
Sounds amazing.
Because I can't do the
Well, I'll
mod
definitely
stuff.
be taking it for a spin as well when Shattered
can.
Space releases too. Was there anything else that you wanted to chat to us about for Starfield Shattered Space coming out? Anything we can look forward to?
You can. I think you can look forward to an interesting story, a handcrafted world, new weapons, new gear, new items that sort of alter the way you might think about Starfield.
Amazing. Well, Tim, I cannot wait to play it as well. And everyone watching at home as well, be sure to check out Starfield Shattered Space, launching September 30th with Xbox Game Pass. Thanks again for chatting with us. Now, next up, we're exploring, scavenging, and hopefully
Crying
surviving
somewhere.
the harsh world
I
of
don't know.
Atomfall. But first, let's build a dungeon.
Yeah. Redfall, shit, yeah, Starfield. I mean, if you can do the mods now, that's great. Like I would play with it, but I would play with all the fucking Star Wars mods. That would interest me. But next to that, I wouldn't, I wouldn't need mods to just be doing goofy shit in the game, not actually playing the game for itself. Muhammad Raya had said something earlier in the chat. I had saw it while I was trying to get this package. He said, did you see the PlayStation 5 major boost sales in China because of Black Myth? Yeah. That's that
As
that
they
Asian,
should.
Yeah, that's that Asian connection. We're working on it. And King Thresh talked about that in that interview. He has a working theory, and you guys need to check it out. I think it's very interesting. Yeah, we're not doing that. But I really think that that's going to be an important alliance and a much needed alliance in gaming, because, if we got Microsoft, the powerhouse over here in the States, I mean, I don't feel too comfortable with Tencent either. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know who's worse. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaning towards Microsoft getting it with Phil Spencer at the helm. Like, you can't do nothing about Satya. He's doing too much for the Microsoft business. He's not going anywhere. But they can do something about Phil. I just don't think that Phil belongs there. And boy, oh boy, did he not look comfortable. He did not look happy at all at Gamescom at all.
Good.
He looked like he did not want to be there at all. Now, I saw a tweet from somebody who said at opening night, they sat a few seats away from Phil, and they put out the Homelander meme when he was just sitting there staring at the screen. They said that's how Phil looked. I think Phil's trying to play this victim. Trying to play this victim thing. He's riding the victim thing. He's gonna sit there and, I won't say throw Microsoft under the bus, because Microsoft don't give a fuck. But all right, here goes Atomfall. Let's check it out.
Scale, the pride of Britain, nestled in the picturesque Lake District, the state-of-the-art atom plant has transformed this rugged landscape into the envy of its northern neighbors. Scientific progress waits for no one.
Wind scale. Everything changed when that bloody atom plant went up in flames.
Citizens of Wyndham, there has been an increase in bandit activity outside the village walls.
Temporary quarantine, they said? It's been bloody years.
They're hiding something from us. Something terrible.
My name's Molly. You got out to trade? I got bits and bobs for sale.
Please be careful. It's more dangerous than you can possibly imagine.
Does it look good?
Yeah, it looks good to me. It's a different. It's like Fallout. It's basically Fallout.
Bro, just say
It's
Xbox
mystery mixed with
template and I know
weirdness.
exactly what
I'm
you
set
mean.
in a not so idyllic post-war British countryside, and believe it or not, it's based on a true story. Really? Well, here with more on Atomfall, please welcome
Creative Director for Rebellion, Ben Fisher. How you doing, pal?
How you doing?
Welcome to Germany.
Thank you.
First time here, or?
Been here for Gamescom before.
Yeah. But not with a game quite like this, right?
No, let's talk about that, Ben. Actually, you're right, Henry, because this is a huge departure from Rebellion's most famous series, let's call it Sniper Elite. Can you tell us about this sudden change of pace here?
Sure. I mean, it's similar and it's different in different aspects of the game. So we always value sandbox exploration and giving the player lots of freedom in their objectives. But at the same time, this is a survival action game with some sort of RPG-ish elements. There's skills, there's crafting. The story of the game unfolds as you explore. It's kind of a mystery game, so tonally quite different to Sniper Elite.
I love the exploration side of it. I mean, from what we just saw in the quick trailer, there's a lot going on. It's not just one sort of trope that you're sticking to. There's a lot to unpack. So maybe as we're checking out some gameplay that you brought along that we can experience, we can jump into some of the influences that have made it into this title. Because, like I said, it's a lot going on here, man. So let's check out some of this gameplay as well. You've got to start off with a post box.
Yeah.
Where else?
I mean, it's on your T-shirt as well.
Yeah.
It must be quite a core feature of Atomfall, I assume.
It is actually.
Oh.
So, as you explore the world of Atomfall, you're uncovering a mystery. You're discovering what's happened in this post-apocalyptic quarantine zone in 1950s north of England. Different characters will ask you to do things for them, and they might help in return. And one of the characters that you can interact with is this mystery phone voice. You don't know who they are, you don't know what they want, and you have to choose which character.
Basically Fallout in England.
Okay. Kind of like Bosley, Charlie's Angels vibes coming through the phone.
Yes, exactly.
I like that. That's cool. Speaking about the story, and Henry, you mentioned it earlier. True story. Like, what is
Surely
that about?
Yes. Well,
Surely not.
yeah. It's based on real-world disaster that happened.
But it looks good.
The first major nuclear disaster in the world was in Winston plant in Sellafield, so 1957. We wanted to use that as a jumping-off point for a story. So Jason Kingsley, one of the owners and founders of Rebellion, observed that there are lots of games that are kind of like post-atom storytelling, like post-atomic disaster storytelling.
I don't think...
But none set around this first disaster that's happened.
Microsoft's...
so we took that as a starting point and then thought, what's a Rebellion kind of...
potential was set in, because let's be honest, it's over now.
So,
I don't think their potential was set in them getting their own studios.
Player freedom. And then combine that with...
That's why I didn't understand why they just went... Well, I understood,
led to the
but I didn't agree with.
The game. So it's kind of an alternate history story.
Why they were buying the studio when they didn't know what to do with them.
And as part of the process of building that game world, we looked back at 1950s storytelling.
Like all the stuff that they...
references like Quatermass series, which is one of the very earliest sci-fi serials, or like early Doctor Who.
The stuff that they don't
and
make.
things like that. So like UK TV Gold kind of...
Well, granted, Starfield had tweaked it, but that had tweaked inches way before they even got them.
That came from it.
Like they don't...
And at the time,
they generally don't have a good eye.
Distinction between like
for stuff,
sci-fi, and those kind of stories. So it's a blend. It's a natural blend in the storytelling style.
So their best bet is the...
And of course, you have to chuck some cricket bats in there for good measure. I mean, the combats are pretty crunchy, right? I mean, this is, like you say, a bit of a departure from Sniper Elite.
Their best bet is partnering with people.
Here we're getting right up.
Partnering with people like how they did with Stalker, how they're doing with this.
As well, like, these are conscious decisions you've made, so why did it feel
Just set aside a significant budget.
You are an elite trained sniper, Carl Fairbairn.
Look at stuff, looking interesting, up and rising stuff, and just partner with it, and
miles to take out that one guy. This is a different character in a different situation. We wanted it to be a mystery, so there are no
they find hidden gems.
signifiers of age, race, or gender of the player character.
Plug more money into it.
Their backstory is part of the mystery that you may or may not uncover as you explore. We wanted you to feel more like it's not so much a war zone as a pub crawl. You're desperately attempting to survive. There's not much ammo around. The guns are all rusty because everyone's been trapped in this quarantine zone for 5 years. You're mixing melee and ranged combat. You can throw your melee weapons. You can kick people to make them stagger back. We wanted you to be constantly, desperately mixing options and scavenging desperately for resources. So there's a real kind of tension as you play, which is very, very tonally different to Carl, who's calm and controlled and reads an entire situation before he decides what to do.
I think we can definitely get on board with the pub crawl.
Yeah.
That's
My entire playthrough is like it's a scene from Kingsman basically, and it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel great.
Talking about Kyle and, you know, that he's an iconic character, what about the characters in Atomfall? Are player characters and maybe so much of the focus, but are there other people that we're going to meet that are going to be key?
Yeah, so I need to have the right answer that doesn't spoil too many things, but as you explore the game world, different characters will ask you to help uncover the mystery of what happened in the Windscale plant and maybe ask you to do something when you get there. And if you do that for them, they might try and find you a way to escape this quarantine zone, or they promise to. So as you explore, you've got to decide who you trust and who you don't trust.
I'm gonna say, you can't shoot a rusty gun.
Trying to manipulate you, whether you believe the same things as they do. So it's all murky shades of grey. There's no good guys and bad guys, and it's all completely open to the player. So you could theoretically kill every character in the game, and there's still a way to finish the game. You could theoretically play through and kill no one, and there's other routes available to you. So we really pushed hard into giving the player lots of options and lots of rewards for observing and choosing what to do. So there's lots of tropish characters, lots of kind of characters that fit this world of being north of England.
I mean, the concept of a Fallout nowadays,
culturally,
where it used to be,
I like that.
Strictly AAA. You can make a open world, robust game
that we can look forward to meeting.
Huge in scale, and it'd be AA.
But what we have done is we've taken
and that's what
1950
Rebellion does. They're real good at
folk horror.
When you talk about AAA games with or AA games with AAA polish, that's essentially what they do.
Those kinds of people as you explore
they're not putting in any groundbreaking elements or anything like that. You're not getting any groundbreaking technology in a Rebellion game, but what you're doing is you're getting.
Tell us more about that.
When they do it right, you're getting games that have good enough polish and are fun.
Is these deeply packed kind of sandbox maps. So the way that we've structured Atomfall is a series of
like
5 or 6, depending on how you count.
Zombie Army. There was another game that they had.
And you can travel
that was pretty fun.
Between them at any time. They're all thematically very, very different. And then there's loads of interiors and large-scale, story-driven locations that you might uncover, as well as bunkers that are full of loot that you might find. What we wanted to do is really lean into that densely packed kind of puzzle box. So I've spent all day watching people play the game, and no two playthroughs have been the same. People can approach it all very, very differently, get different experiences.
I really
as
like
you explore the game, you'll find leads as well.
Rebellion
So we don't have a
games.
kind of
Except for the sniper, really. I don't like the sniper leads.
You piece together clues that help you understand what's happening.
But again,
so we built this puzzle
the
box.
Fallout formula has been out
interconnected options for the player, and then we just let them go for
like
it. They
a
might
decade
find
and a half now.
place and die, but we
so it was only a matter of time that now you're going to have AA people.
That's right. I love a puzzle.
Creating
I'm
worlds
buzzing. Yeah. We're great at solving them
that
together,
are
to be fair.
Well,
huge in scale like this, that play like this,
leads that players
but that aren't necessarily trying to
how they're equipped to do so. Because we just saw literally pulling out a metal detector,
use the latest technology,
finding some old
but still are good enough that you can enjoy.
What are the other ways we can do that?
Yeah, so you might find a lead that someone's hidden in a box under the ground somewhere. They've a bit of storytelling around it to draw the player in and make them try and understand how it fits to the game world. But there's also
I am going to tell you from a simulation standpoint, I am disappointed to see
and they might
that you can shoot a rusty gun
with you, which has a lead in it. Or
like to me, if I got a rusty gun, then okay.
You can also have conversations with characters, and if you choose the right choices,
you might get some more. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to take it to a tool table.
High stakes player freedom. So you can get
workshop.
The conversation wrong, right? You're not working your way down a list
as long as I get all the right ingredients or the right
the
scraps and shit, I can clean that motherfucker
conversation. Up. So if you judge their personality wrong and say the wrong thing, they might shut down and stop talking to you. And you've pruned a chain of leads that you might otherwise have found something interesting in the game world. So you're always having these influences and layers that you may even not notice are there.
That sounds so smart. I can't wait to dive into that as well. That's so cool. I understand there's some crafting elements in that as well, and also, metal detectors, scavenging. Can you tell us what that kind of looks like in Atomfall?
Sure. So the player's desperately trying to survive and finding materials to
and I like the
help them
aspect
survive.
you,
so even if they find a gun, they might
at the enemies.
So they can find materials that let
spawn.
them craft things to help them heal or help them in combat.
I was concerned because that one AI that he walked to with the cricket paddle,
you find yourself trapped
he just walked up to him and shit. He just smacked him.
Like I say, we're trying to make sure that
I don't know if it was because
spot where you
the
feel
dude didn't see him as hostile yet, or what. I don't know what that was about.
We want you to use everything that you find. We made sure your backpack capacity is quite limited as well, so you're really pushed to make these difficult choices and decide even whether you want to engage in a fight or not, whether you want to avoid it entirely, you want to choose the right moment and try and take out 5 guys with a Molotov. It's all really, really high stakes, but it makes it very rewarding when you manage to pull something off.
It looks like our player right now is making a horrible decision by going into a restricted area. Already seen a ribcage. I mean,
yeah. I mean, so
this is going to go great.
Like I mentioned,
see, I like shit like this. You got to find bunkers, and this is classic Fallout that had me fall in love with Fallout 3. When I say class, I don't mean 1 and 2. I mean like 3.
To be fair,
the Bethesda Fallout.
So we'll see about that.
This is when you're going into like bunkers and shit like that, like caves. I love games where you can go in like caves and you're going underground, or you're going into stations and stuff like that, and they're huge. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was so disappointed with Starfield, because when you would come across the new station to go journey through, the reason why I like going through the shit, because you find a bunch of shit. That's you find the most obscure and the most cool shit.
And then also abilities
when you go in the caves or whatever,
like disarming traps.
That's the way it's always been. And you find the biggest and best secrets and the best elements. And that wasn't the case with Starfield.
Pressure, but we wanted to give you some advantages. So you might learn a skill.
Like you would find a whole bunch of shit that had a bunch of multicolors on them, but who gave a fuck?
Just to help give you that edge over the course of the game. As you can see in this location here, they're in a kind of dark and then scary interior. So we've got the player's progression.
Oh, they got they got something called Feral 2. Oh, they got Ferals 2 in this. You talk about rip off
into the world and into the underground of the world to find these dark and scary places.
But I like the different verticality of this game. Like you can climb up into.
There is the sci-fi element, but there's a bit of horror vibes I'm getting too. Like, so with us competing with people maybe on a top level, and now we've got into this bunker, there must be some monsters of some kind.
Yeah, we just saw a little glimpse of something scary and monstrous. And as you push into the mystery, you will find more elements influenced by what happened. But yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said earlier, the storytelling style of the 50s and 60s didn't really have a division between folk horror and sci-fi. There was like a blend for a certain kind of story that was addressing the Cold War, but in a way that wasn't too political, I guess. So, folk horror stories are about the division between rural and urban civilization and how there's a tension between them, and Cold War stories are about fear of the outsiders and others and that sort of thing. And there's thematic resonances between all of these different storytelling styles, which make it really easy for us to push into these otherworldly horror elements as you push into the mystery.
Nice. That's so sick.
We've got quite an atmospheric bunker, like you said, as well. Have you got a favourite part of the maps that you can share us with? Again, nothing. I'm really pushing it here, but any favourite place to maybe have a picnic or anything like that?
Well, actually, there is a favourite secret place which I can tell you about a little bit. So, as the player is starting the game, they're given one lead. A person tells them that the heart of this mystery is a location called the Interchange. So to begin with, you're trying to find this place, and as you make your way in, it's all unpowered, it's been shut down, it's been quarantined, and you push into it and open it up more and more, and it's like an unfurling flower as you find all of these leads that are the heart of the mystery. And the more you find, the more leads there are to find. So you end up in this kind of like snowball effect.
He's just picked up a Cornish pasty.
Oh yeah,
Stunning.
Yeah.
Well, this is pre-Greg's era, I suppose. So we'll take what we can get for now.
That's brilliant.
Just don't ask what meat's in it.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
It's really fun for me to see like the contrast between that dank bunker we just came out of, and then like the overworld is so lush and vibrant. And
like I hope their bunkers are bigger than
that. It's not always this green, so sometimes, yeah, exactly. I mean, I live in London, and it's just grey all the time. So any green I can get is good. But
it's the Lake District on a good day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, will we see many other types of biomes or environments in the game as well?
Yeah. So one example would be there's a woodland nearby, but it has more of a kind of spooky folk horror-ish tone. As you get into it, it feels more mysterious and occult. And there's a group of kind of pagans that if you tread.
In other news, Amazon Luna's added more. They've partnered up with
you
GOG.
Can find a friendly character,
so you can buy games off of GOG.
Your way into their compound. So we give you all these different options to, for
and play them on Amazon Luna.
Ways to befriend them.
Partnership started a few months ago. They're slowly rolling out games.
Very good.
They added a few more games.
I think we especially
like Chorus, Plague Tales Requiem,
excited for Atomfall and to check
some
it
other
out.
stuff.
And maybe even
come like someone that fits into the cloud gaming demographic right now.
And Charlie have actually been scanned.
It's something that could interest you,
which we're very excited.
But my thing is like,
ourselves. Oh, there we are.
Yeah. I would have aligned myself with Gamescom, and I would have tried to show my ass in a major way because they're in Germany.
Methods of doing it.
I don't get what Amazon missed out an opportunity there not to be
agreed to show up
available at Gamescom.
Dressed as a big baby, and apparently that's for something. But
yeah, no,
what
this
did
is
you guys do?
Massive
I thought so. Yeah, thanks.
You got NPD numbers too
to get someone scanned into your games because the realism is quite impressive.
Sure. So we go through a highly detailed scanning process of every.
We got new NPD numbers.
So we get wrinkle maps.
We're going to talk about them.
Perfect.
Of course. Yeah. So we didn't bother with the wrinkle.
Oh, great.
So they're all assembled by character artists and rigged so they can animate. And then we, in the case of Atomfall, we then put that in a sort of character builder system. That means we can put costumes on the characters. We might grub your face up a bit because they've been surviving for 5 years without washing machines and soap. And then we just find exactly the right spot for each kind of memorable face in the game.
I'm definitely looking out for where I am. If I'm on an enemy, that's okay. I've always wondered what I'd look like if I had a cricket bat to the face. So this is great. And you're going to be getting scanned in pretty soon.
Yeah. I can't wait. As long as you put some fake eyelashes on me as well, then make that.
I'll make a note.
Yeah. Are you in the game as well? Have you been scanned?
No, I haven't been scanned yet.
Okay.
No. You have to shave a beard off if you want to get.
You had to do that.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was just the beard that we had to shave. Right.
The rest was optional.
Oh. Yeah. Whoops. Honestly, I cannot wait to play this game. It looks bonkers. It looks British as heck. And honestly, we're going to play it so much when it launches next year. Thank you so much, honestly, for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your Gamescom. And
excellent. Thank you very much.
And we are going to be taking a little look at some other games, but your game's coming out in 2025 on Xbox Game Pass, which is great. But next up, we're going to be throwing it back with some Age of Mythology retold. But before we do that,
I don't think that there's really anything else during this showcase that is of interest. Oh, hold on. But we're going to take a break from the showcase to show you guys this. So we got NPD numbers. We got Sakana
again.
Yep, and this is for that coveted July. This is July's numbers. Remember the month to where Boomstick told us that Xbox was going to outsell PlayStation. So let's see if it happened. This is a live reaction. I looked at some stuff, but I didn't look at everything. So we're going to look and see did was Boomstick right? Did Xbox destroy PlayStation in July? All right. So video games, the business went up 10% in July versus year over year. Here goes the top 20 games in NPD. It's EA Sports College Football 25. That's not a shocker. Then the EA Sports MVP bundle. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that was the College 25 in Madden. We had Elden Ring at number 3, Call of Duty at number 4, Minecraft at number 5, Nintendo World Championship NES Edition at number 6. That's new. Hogwarts Legacy at 7, MLB The Show at 8, EA Sports FC 24 at 9, Marvel Spider-Man at 10, Marvel Spider-Man 2 at 10, Mortal Kombat at 11, Mario Kart at 12, Helldivers at 13th, Tekken at 8th, Luigi's Mansion 2 at 15th, Sea of Thieves at 16th, UFC 5 at 17th, Tom Clancy's Siege at 18th, The Crew Motorfest 19th, and Ghost of Tsushima is 20th. All right. Now let's look at year to date. So for year to date, hold on, what the hell just happened? EA Sports, damn. Holy shit. EA Sports is so big that I didn't think the college would be that big. But EA Sports College 25 was so big that it automatically has taken the number 1 spot year to date for fucking NPD. Holy shit. Okay. So EA Sports is number 1. Helldivers 2 is number 2. Call of Duty is number 3. Dragon's Dogma is number 4. This EA Sports MVP bundle is number 5. Elden Ring is number 6. MLB The Show is number 7. WW2K24 is number 8. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is 9. Hogwarts Legacy, Tekken 8 is 10th. Hogwarts Legacy is 11th. Madden 24 is 12th. NBA 2K24 is 13th. Suicide Squad is 14th. EA Sports FC 24 is 15th. Persona 3 is 16th. Minecraft is 17th. GTA is 18th. Sea of Thieves is 19th. And locking in the number 20 spot is Marvel Spider-Man 2. So in looking at this, once again, we have another month. We're going to owe Porter Rock some royalties. We have another month where there's only one place where you can play every single game on this year-to-date list. There's only one place. And that's PlayStation 5. Matt Piscatella says EA Sports College 25 debuted as the best-selling game of 2024 year-to-date and was the primary driver of both content and hardware growth on console platforms. Launch month dollars of EA Sports College Football 25 more than tripled the total lifetime dollar sales of the previous best-selling college game. EA Sports MVP bundle, which includes, here's what it includes. EA Sports MVP bundle, which includes College Football Deluxe Edition and Madden Deluxe Edition, ranked 2nd. And July's been in place 5th for 2024 year-to-date period. So that's what I thought it was. The only other new release ranks in the best top 20 was Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. All right, so let's go down here to hardware. For July, we no longer see double-digit growth comparing over year, but we do see solid 7.6 growth. No. That's for mobile. Okay, here we go. July hardware spending grew 12% when compared to a year ago to 326 growing in spending. PlayStation 5 was up 25% and Xbox Series was up 48%, offset by a 44% drop in Nintendo. 771,000 total units of video game console hardware sold in July, up from 659. So they're telling you how many units were sold altogether for the month. Here we go. PlayStation 5 led the month's hardware market in unit dollar sales, with Xbox Series ranking 2nd across both measures.
Oh no, what a shocker. Good. Did I stun you, Moss?
No, you know I gotta send a tweet. You know I gotta send a tweet. You know I gotta be a dickhead. Taking our victory lap, so I gotta be an asshole. Hold on. No. Because Matt might, he might. A weirdo. Damn it.
Where was Matt Booty actually?
Yeah, where's he at? That is true.
He probably still taking out coffee for free. Still asking them if something's in the way.
We go. Hold on, but I was told. So there you have it, folks. There you have it, my friends. Jeff Grubb has a comment. He says, but console gamers are so used to feeling special. That's been the deal. We'll spend $500 on this thing, and you have to do the work to make that feel like a good investment. A console platform cannot square this circle, and I don't think they're trying to. Phil Spencer tries to explain. Yeah, I agree with Jeff on that. That's the problem. I agree. I agree with Jeff here. That is the problem. I agree with this. A lot of money going into gaming devices. Value I get for my $500 versus the other $500 box. Contrary to what I was promised, of course, I will. A lot of money is going to these devices. Value and / support I get for my $500 versus the other $500 box. Is cut significantly contrary promise, of course. I don't even think it's. I don't think it's. It's not a. It's not a difficult thing to understand. I'm going to put this up here. So Jeff Grubb, who you guys know I rarely agree with, he got a good tweet up here. Because you're seeing a lot of people say, well, I mean, Xbox is trying to make money, and if them putting their games everywhere makes you upset, I don't know what to tell you. Like, no, can we not be that Neanderthal in looking at this? Because this is based upon what Phil Spencer said here. We'll play it. What Phil Spencer said at Gamescom earlier. Well, I think this was recorded last night. I don't know. But earlier, here's his response to Indiana Jones and other stuff coming to PlayStation 5. Here's what he had to say. Okay. So let's do this. Shit. God damn it. This. Let's do this. Also want to make sure Cold Blood can hear it. And here's what Phil Spencer said.
Going to the PlayStation announcement, obviously last spring, we launched 4 games, 2 of them on the Switch, 4 of them on PlayStation, and we said we're going to learn. We said we'd watch, and I think at Showcase I might have said from our learning we're going to do more. What I see when I look is our franchises are getting stronger. Our Xbox console players are as high this year as they've ever been. Amazing. So I look at it and I say, okay, our player numbers are going up for the console platform. Our franchises are as strong as they've ever been. And we run a business. Like it's definitely true inside of Microsoft. The bar is high for us in terms of the delivery that we have to give back to the company, because we get a level of support from the company that's just amazing in what we're able to go do. So I look at this, how can we make our games as strong as possible? Our platform continues to grow, both on console, on PC, and on cloud. And I think it's just going to be a strategy that works for us. And the last thing I'll probably say is I think as an industry right now, there's a lot of pressure on the industry. It's been growing for a long time, and now people are looking for ways to grow. And I think that us as fans, as players of games, we just have to anticipate there's going to be more change in how some of the traditional ways that games were built and distributed. That's going to change. That's going to change for all of us. But the end result has to be better games that more people can play. If we're not focused on that, I think we're focused on the wrong things. So for us, it's Xbox, health of Xbox, health of our platform, and our growing games, most important things.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Lovely. Now,
so, again, bunch of hogwash, a bunch of bullshit. But it's contrary to. So after the fact, say I have a restaurant, and you, the listener, you come into my restaurant, and let's just say there's an entry fee to even get into my restaurant, like, and I tell you, look, you're going to get the best steak in the world. You know, this is a buffet style. Come in here, get the best steak in the world. Come to MM2K's Buffet Kingdom, right? And so you come in and you're like, all right, where's the steak? I mean, there's everything else here. There's vegetables, there's chicken, there's biscuits, whatever, but there's no steak. And then all of a sudden I say to you, well, look, man, here's the thing. Steak ain't the only thing that's important. We got to sell other foods too. It's important for us to maintain ourselves as a business. We can't just keep selling you steak because steak is expensive. We got to sell vegetables too. So, you know, just enjoy the vegetables and enjoy the banana pudding and all that other stuff. We got to operate as a business. All that may be fine and dandy, but motherfucker, you took my $25 and got my investment into this, took my family's $25 based off the fact that you promised me steak. And of course I'm going to look across the street and see what they're doing across the street. If you promised me steak and I'm not getting steak for my $25, but for the people that go across the street and give their $25, they're getting steak. And here's the thing. This is where I find it comical, where some of you diehards, like every blue moon, will hit me up. And I know why you're doing it. I know who's sending you. But every blue moon, you'll hit me up and say, oh, Stadia failed. You're still on that trope. Stadia failed, and oh, how dare you talk about Xbox? I got my money back from Stadia. So as much as a roller coaster ride that was, and seeing something that you like and then it's going away, I was fully reimbursed. And as a matter of fact, in some cases, I came out on top because not only did Stadia refund me for the game, but the developers in some cases were like, oh, that's fucked up what they're doing here. We're going to give you a free copy of the PC version so you can play it on GFN. So like I went from, say for instance, when Dreamcast shut down. When Dreamcast shut down, damn, I really like the Dreamcast. Dreamcast is doing a whole bunch of good shit. Oh man, that sucks. Say I get a call from PlayStation. Okay, well Dreamcast shut down. We're sorry, but here. We're going to transition you over to PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? I you know, as much as I love Stadia, as innovative as it was for a cloud gaming platform, I mean, there's no denying GeForce Now's superiority when it comes to games and catalog and performance. So basically, like I said, I went from Dreamcast, which was cool, very innovative, did a bunch of cool shit, but I went to a platform that has a more long-standing, more access. The people work with me more. You know what I'm saying? Like there's less tension where I say wasn't a bunch of tension with the Stadia people, but you can tell they were trying to back off as I became critical. The GeForce Now people, if you're critical, they'll just hit you up personally and say, hey, caught something that you said, or caught something that you, hey, you know, just curious, why did you think that? Maybe it's something I can take back to the team. There is no, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be. I've never gotten that from them. In contrast, I've gotten scenarios, one from the Stadia people, and again, I'm not saying that they, you know, were mean or anything like that, but they took a step back. People that I used to communicate with and used to have pipelines of communication through, those pipelines fucking ceased. I went from being able to say, oh man, you guys should really put a game out there for sale, and the game go out there for sale for as much as I say, right? To crickets. I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to cry? Cause my ability, you want me to cry because my access to the games that I want to play the way that I want to play them is better? Again, I'm not saying GeForce Now's total vision is better than what Stadia's total vision was, but like right now in the infancy stages of cloud gaming, the most important thing, see all that cloud 1,000 players in one place stuff, that's where I want to see gaming go. I definitely want to see gaming go in that direction, but I know it's not plausible now. I mean, it's starting to get there, but it's not plausible now. So the most important thing up front is you work on that shit, you get us there, but I need these games that I want to play via the cloud. And I also want unique ways to play them, like what Stadia was doing was great too, with direct stream. I wish GeForce Now had something like that. I wish, what's that shit? But it's more or less a service than it is a platform. But fucking System Connect, Stream Connect, that's one of the best co-op features ever in gaming. Like you literally have a screen, a PIP screen of what your co-op partner sees. And it's fucking clear and as responsive as day. Like they can't even do that with modern hardware. They don't, the processing and the compute power, even for the biggest machines, it's not possible. It's cloud technology that makes that possible. See, I like to see innovations like that. I've been doing the same shit, pressing the same buttons for the last 30, 40 years, and I do want to innovate. That's why I like Stadia. But again, at the forefront, I want access to the games that I want to play. None of this matters if I don't get the games that I want to play. And I get more access to the games that I want to play through GeForce Now. So what do you want me to do? You want me to cry because I get access to more games? No, because I got my money back and I'm not in the negative with Stadia. I'm actually in a plus because, like I said, there's games where Stadia refunded me the money for them, and I got a PC copy of the game that I can play on GeForce Now. You want me to cry? No. But my question is, what are you going to do? with Xbox. Can you get your money back? No, you can't. What is Xbox going to refund you for? Nothing. But these people that are mindless Neanderthals on the internet, they're going to laugh at you. Who's laughing now? I took my Stadia money, invested it in the PlayStation and GeForce Now where I need it. And now I'm gaming, I'm having better access to gaming than I have in a long time. What about you? While I'm gaining access to games and I have the opportunity to play everything, you're losing access. You can't play Wukong. You can't play it. You can't play Marvel Spider-Man 2. You can't play it. Can't play Stellar Blade. Can't play it. Can't play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Can't play it. Can't play Helldivers. Can't play it. What the fuck you want me to do? So yeah, when it comes down to these boxes and these people that do not have the luxury of buying multiple boxes, when it comes down to a box, you got to make a choice. It's $500 fucking for crying out loud. So you can understand in today's economy why everybody can't just shell that out. Like even I would love to keep my original PlayStation and just get a Pro when that comes out. No, I'm trade. I got it. My wife would have my head on a platter. I got to trade this motherfucker in. So, yeah, it's $500. That's why they can't do what they want to do and just get multiple consoles. If they could get multiple consoles, then people wouldn't even care. But they invested in your console. They invested with you.
Breaking news.
Oh shit.
Black Myth Wukong is now only an 80 on Metacritic.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Yeah, Eurogamer put a 60 out there.
What? But they did that a couple of days ago.
No, August 20th.
Oh, yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. That's why I said it's going to be like an 80, 81. It doesn't even matter now. I mean, that's a shame that they did that. But thank goodness. See, and this is why I tell you guys, this is why I tell you guys don't fucking pay attention to these journos. Why did I say that? I say that because the journos, they create bad situations, meaning now you see why, like, I still believe in most cases, if your Metacritic embargo is too close to launch, there's something fishy there. But Cold Blood, you're playing it right now. Do you feel like it's an 80 or below game? It might even hit 79 if we get another asshole out there. I mean, do you feel that way now?
I don't even have 2 hours in this game, bro. What can I tell you about it right now? Besides that, what I played so far is fucking great.
My thing is, okay, everybody's enjoying the game. Let's go to Steam database. Let's go there. Now, granted, people could argue that it could be a bunch of people flooding it in China, giving it great scores. We'll see. Hold on. Black Myth.
And it's funny, it got a 8.3 user score.
Yeah.
So some zeros just say Game has too many bosses bad.
Yeah.
0 out of 10.
Well, I think isn't the Open Critic like 88 or something like that?
Mm-mm.
What is Open Critic?
It's an 81.
Oh, Open Critic is 81. I just saw Black Myth. That's crazy. Yeah, I see it. So it's a 95. There's 2 million in game right now. Holy shit. Yeah, there's 2 million in game right now. I would like to see SteamDB. No, not SteamDB. But like,
bro, 2 million.
Going to the
people
PlayStation
are
announcement,
playing this
obviously
at the
last
same
spring.
time right now.
Say that again.
Holy shit. The 2 million people playing at the same time on Steam right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think that's because that's China activity. With that being said, it's not bad, but that's why it drops from 2 million to like 700,000 because of the time zone. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's clear that like 1.3 million of that is out of China, and the hours that they play, like, you know, I think that, aren't they strict over there on how long you can play games or some shit like that?
Only for kids.
Oh, for kids. Okay.
Yeah.
New and network. Let's go to. And the fact that and people think that they're. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
People think that when they say, "Oh, it's only because of China," like that's supposed to mean a bad thing. That's what King Fresh was alluding to. Like, you motherfuckers are going to miss out so much with that type of mind state that you're that was it. That you're going to miss out on. You're going to miss out on the Asian revolution when it comes to gaming. You're going to miss out on it so much because you guys think that if it's not coming out of the West, you know what I'm saying, that it's no good. Here, let's see. Is there any more other Gamescom? Let's go to Gamescom's website. See if there's any other Gamescom stuff. I'm about to get off because I know Cold Blood wants to play some more Wukong, and we're gonna let him play. What is this? Lucas and Patrick. These are trailers, videos. Like, is there a program, events? Okay. Pilot commissioning combat. I don't know. Let's go back to the home. Is there a Gamescom like video schedule? Currently live. Okay, Bethesda at Gamescom. Okay, that's cool. Oh, so they got, these are all the current events right now. Combat simulation. Ah, that's what that was. Okay, I was confused. Like, what the fuck? so we got Bethesda. Gamescom day one. There they go. No, I don't want. Let me see. Gamescom. Oh. Okay. This is IGN. Anybody else that's live? Oh, there goes us. It was supposed to be a Bethesda Eurogamers live. Live. Xbox live from the showroom floor. Holy shit, VG 24/7. We got more people than VG 24/7. Ain't that some shit? Rocket Beans TV. I wonder where fucking damn, Bethesda's got something going on. And I didn't want to do Twitch because of all those fucking ads. Okay, yeah. We're definitely just gonna have to go do Twitch. Okay, here we go. They have captions now. They're playing in the background. But people are sitting there trying to make it seem like that it's a bad thing that Black Myth Wukong is getting a lot of activity out of China. Visually stunning despite saying better on a controller. I actually like the gameplay on my mount. Let's see here. Product. Yeah, it's not a bad thing that is selling in China. Like, okay, PlayStation has hit a ceiling in growth. They're decimating Xbox, and Xbox will never be able to recover not because Xbox is trying and they can't beat the almighty PlayStation. No, they just suck. They decided to stick it out with Phil. Their name is tarnished, and like even last night when Indiana Jones, look, I'll be honest with you, Indiana Jones was great for someone like me or Coldblood who laughs at fanboys. Like, we love laughing at fanboys. So last night was great for Indiana Jones, but last night made absolutely no fucking sense. It made no sense. It made no sense. Everybody that's at Gamescom is a hardcore gamer. Am I correct or am I right? Everybody at Gamescom is a hardcore gamer. Correct? Correct. Okay. Are you trying to tell me that in any other setting, if you launch that Indiana Jones is coming to PlayStation, that's not going to get buzz outside of Gamescom? Like, it's going to get so much fucking coverage, it's going to be ridiculous. Telling everybody that Indiana Jones, releasing that information not only during Gamescom, but also releasing it when you release your information, that was sending the ultimate fuck you signal, which is great for me in Coldblood, but was not necessary right now. Because let's be honest, show it at Gamescom, let people play it. I mean, if it is a decent game, I have my doubts, but if it is a decent game, someone can call, and then you guys are showcasing your fucking Xbox control. I mean, your Xbox consoles, and you brought the price down. Why not let people play the fucking game and then decide, you know what, I might get an Xbox for it? Because if they do that, guess what? You get more off of that purchase than you would by letting people know that it's coming to play. Now people are saying, you know what? I'll just get a PlayStation 5 Pro and play Indiana Jones on that. That was like stupid. That was stupid business-wise. That was stupid. Why are you even marketing new hardware then? Why you could have used Gamescom to put that out there, garner anticipation for the fucking holiday season, for crying out loud, and have people, have some more people buy your console. And by those people making that investment, they're likely to get Game Pass, which you want them to do, or maybe buy some games natively on the console, which you want them to do, right? Like, I wonder if even these new consoles are out here are just a gimmick. Like, did they just make like a real remedial amount of them, like maybe 1,000, and they're going to ship some out here and there, or they're only going to do it via pre-order? Like, are they not going to even put them in retail store? Like, did they just make 1,000 just to give the appearance to the most diehard motherfuckers that, hey, we got another console for you and we're still staying in the console, just to continue the gimmick even more? Is that what they did? 'Cause I'm not understanding this move.
Just ask Kids Move what the move was. Boss.
I don't know. What did Kids Move say? Kids Move, what did he say last night? Which was, he said, so I was cracking up at work last night. He said, was it Microsoft that bought ABK, or was it ABK that bought Microsoft? He was going off, bro. I was done. You know what? Porter Rock show last night was hilarious. It was hilarious. I mean, Porter Rock was just belly aching, or not belly aching, but he was like cracking the fuck up. And all the show was him just simply playing, just pouring out the Xbox tears. That's all it was. Yeah, look, man. I don't get it. I'm just wondering what dumb gimmick are they trying to run? Why are they running a dumb gimmick? Why don't, if you're going to continue through with the generation, then at the very least, just continue to go through the generation and just do the normal console business stuff. And if you're going to sell a console, then don't say nothing about Indiana Jones until after Gamescom. Or until, you can wait till, it's not coming till spring. You could have waited until 2025.
Nah, they need that wish list on PlayStation Store.
Well, yeah, but they could have did that in January and shit, after the Game Awards, and they don't win anything and shit. And then,
bro, trust me, Phil Spencer cannot wait to just put everything on PlayStation so his numbers look good. He cannot wait. Well, yeah, he's not going to tell you that. But he's done with fighting.
He's fighting for his life right now, as far as keeping his job.
Yeah, but he is done with fighting with PlayStation, bro. He's now just wanting his job to be fucking secure. And that's the only way he's going to do it.
You guys heard an echo? What about now?
An echo?
Yeah. Do you guys hear an echo now?
I hear nothing.
Maybe it's because I had my desktop audio open. You guys hear an echo now? Nobody needs this platform said echo.
From me?
I don't know. He just said echo. That's all he said in the chat. Let us know if the echo's going. Yeah, man. I mean, he's fighting for his business life. So,
and but suffering for it.
Yeah. This was crazy, bro. Crazy.
So, when is the PlayStation show happening? You still didn't answer me, Mo.
I don't know. I don't know. You want to hear
Because
something I do know?
PlayStation, look, PlayStation was a complete no-show at Gamescom.
At one game,
like not even, not one fucking game.
Shout out to Extreme. Sometimes Extreme can get a little. He can really get to what his name indicates. But he gave a he gave a synopsis yesterday on Porter Rock Show, which I thought was hilarious. He was like, imagine you have a significant other, right? And you're having sex with your significant other, and your significant other is just calling out someone's name and shit. That motherfucker like isn't even near, and they're getting all the credit and shit. Like, that's what Gamescom was like last night for PlayStation. Like, they're not even there, and they're the talk of the town. Like, nobody's talking about anything with Xbox except for the fact that they bent the knee to PlayStation, and they announced Indiana Jones coming to PlayStation the same time they gave you an Xbox date. And another thing that I'm seeing out there, that which is significantly true, is that if you, like, people are saying, well, look, the thing about Xbox is I got Game Pass and they don't have Game Pass. So if you're a Game Pass gamer primarily or solely, PlayStation people are going to get access to what's it called before a lot of you do. Because if you're a Game Pass standard owner, you're not getting it. They told you, Phil just told you yesterday, it might be a year or more before you see a game on Game Pass. So here goes your homie Post Up, Cold Blood. Once he posts up in his infinite wisdom, here goes your homie Post Up, Cold Blood, giving his infinite wisdom, talking about what place Sony money hatting and all this other stuff woke up the beer, or they poked the wrong beer or some shit. Here it goes right here.
That's what and it needed to happen. You know why? Because Microsoft needed to steer the fear of God in Sony. Right? Now, ZeniMax deal, Sony didn't say nothing, right? 7.5 billion, 8 billion. Huh. We good. We worried about Bethesda again. Then they kept 69. What? 70? You buying who? Yeah. We not playing no more. We not playing no more. The $1 trillion. You finna see us exercise our rights.
I need more hot sauce on that.
You didn't play with us
need
for
some
too
more.
long. And guess what?
Yes.
Guess what? After they brought ZeniMax, the board member said, "Who next?" Then they went out to Activision. Then in over the last 2 days, they said they're not done even at the Activision.
They're not done.
Y'all didn't poke the wrong bear. It is over. And Sony know they ain't got the money to compete with Microsoft.
I mean, Sony are doing a very good job with their comparatively middling funding, but they have the key thing is Microsoft has the appetite, and it's frustrating for a lot of the PlayStation guys and for Sony to see on display Microsoft is aggressively backing this deal, which would have been different if the European Commission had not done it. You would have seen this deal fall apart. But now they are all in on this deal. And we're also getting to see the kind of things that I've been asking or hoping Microsoft was doing. So now we've got this aggression. Indiana Jones, you made a good point there, Fame. I'll kind of lead to you, Asa, on that. Honoring pre-existing contractual obligations. It looks like Indiana Jones was subject to that. Post Up suggests that, or informs us that it was the Game Pass angle that allowed a revision or an opportunity to revise this contract, and then later on Microsoft completely cut out PlayStation from the picture.
Stop.
But do you think that's contradictory, Ace?
What the fuck are they talking about?
In what regard?
What contractual obligation because of Game Pass? What type of bullshit are they on, bro?
Well, here's what I think he was trying to say. He was trying to say that because Xbox bought Bethesda, that allowed them to renegotiate the contract and then put it on Game Pass, not because of Game. I think but he's just throwing a whole bunch of word salad out there and just throwing a whole bunch of big words out there that probably is confusing himself because they were abundantly wrong. But I think that's what he's trying to say, that, because they purchased Bethesda, that allowed them to renegotiate the contract and then put it on Game Pass.
That is some absolute BS, bro.
Well, no. When you buy a developer, you get to renegotiate like the exclusivity clauses and stuff like that. You do get to renegotiate it. That's how Mass Effect ended up on what's it called, on PlayStation. Because when EA bought them, they were able to renegotiate that contract with BioWare and say, no, we're making this multi-plat. So yeah, when you do buy a game, even if there is an exclusivity clause, that exclusivity clause gets thrown out the window and you get to renegotiate it and make it multi-plat or make it from multi-plat from exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your property now. But you got to negotiate it. Like both parties got to be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? So the license holder got to be okay with it, and the developer has to be okay with it. And they're saying that was okay with it. That Disney was okay with it at first, or maybe they were at first, and then they're like, I don't, who knows? But that part of it is true, but it doesn't matter now, because even though you have that ability to renegotiate, who in their right mind, as we see right now, because it's multi-plat, who in their right mind would say, yeah, unless they were giving them a shit ton of money to put it on Game Pass, who in their right mind would sit there and say, yeah, don't put that thing on the most selling console out there, the one that's beating you 3-1 in the States. Don't put it there. We're going to take your lump sum of money and we're going to put it in this Game Pass, and then it's going to sell like maybe 5 copies because of Game Pass. Like we're going to kill the longevity of this game. Who in their right mind would agree to that long term? Like, I think in worst case scenario, what probably wasn't said in those court documents is there probably was an exclusive deal that was renegotiated. They probably were going to put it in Game Pass, but it probably was always going to go to PlayStation at some point in time. And what they said in court was, they said the word exclusive, but the word exclusive means so many things. There's timed exclusive. You know what I mean? So under no circumstances do I believe that Disney, of all people, looked at Xbox and said, yeah, just because you're giving us some money up front, put it a day and date in Game Pass, which cannibalizes sales, to your own admission, and then make it exclusive to the least selling console in the world. Yeah, there's no way they said that. But we'll continue on. Hold on, let me. I got.
It depends on. So the controversial part of that would be if ZeniMax specifically had any kind of contract with Sony to release the game on that platform.
Okay, well, it was done anyway. But yeah, that was your boy Post Up with the close up indicating that they poked the bear. I think that was the biggest thing is they poked the bear. Put hot sauce on the stick. It's over. And put some.
The only thing the only thing they poked.
Yeah.
Bro, the only thing they poked is a fucking fly. That's what they poked. A fruit fly, bro.
They poked the bear. They said they ain't playing with you no more. Hey, post up. Shut your wannabe country Steve Harvey ass down. Man, shut your ass up. They ain't gonna play with them no more. Shut up. So fucking wrong. This is like a circle jerk of buffoonery. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad it's being exposed. And now we're supposed to follow this buffoonery and now revolt. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that. Now we're supposed to revolt against what y'all told us that Xbox wouldn't be doing and shit, right? Like, you are the motherfuckers that told us that when Satya and Tim Stewart was talking about expanding on PlayStation, they were just talking about ABK. You're the ones that led us astray, because when we heard that, because look, Microsoft told us what they were going to do. Satya said it. Tim Stewart said it. It was you who came out there and said, no. That's not what they're going to do. They're going to do what I emotionally want them to do. And when your emotions are wrong, you now want to sit there and create montages and videos and talk shit on them. And we're supposed to follow you. And you're the ones that led us to believe that this wasn't happening when they told us it was happening. What type of fucking bizarro world is this? Y'all want to come out here and do some Via's Vendetta bullshit, talking about we should follow you when you're the one that told us the complete opposite of what they told us. What? Only in the world of gaming do people get away with this shit. This is a circle jerk of buffoonery. Join the revolution. The revolution to become dumber? It's over. Y'all lost. Y'all bet on the wrong pony. And fucking deal with it. And admit to it. I said this a couple days ago. Just admit to it, man. Just fucking admit to it. Just say, you know what? We looked at this all wrong. This whole they lied to us. That's not gonna work. There is evidence of what they said and how we originally was interpreting it versus the spin y'all tried to put on it. Not them. Tim Stewart, Satya Nadella came out and said what they said. We understood it. We understood the mission. You guys then, because it affects your brand, your ability to get clicks, your ability to get super chats, your ability to get ad revenue, because it affects your brand, you came out and spun what they said, which was very clear. Oh, it's a shadow of a doubt. It's comprehension. It's a comprehension problem. People hear PlayStation. Now they're the liars. I mean, yeah. Well, no, they're not the liars. Phil is the liar. There's really only one big liar here. And there's only really one person propagating lies here. That's Phil. And Phil forcing his team to lie. All these lies are coming from Phil. Satya and everybody else, all the other execs that are not under Phil, who have not been forced by Phil to lie, they told you what they wanted to do. told you what they wanted to do. Satya talked about being a publisher holistically. Tim Stewart, I'm not announcing anything right now, but we're looking at our properties to where we're looking at, all these other platforms. And gamers on them as Xbox gamers. Meaning we're going third party. Right? Because like Square Enix, they look at everybody on all these platforms as Square Enix gamers. They don't say, oh, you're not a Square Enix gamer unless you play on the Square Enix console. No. You're a Square Enix gamer as long as you play a Square Enix game wherever a Square Enix game is available. That's how a third-party publisher thinks. So Tim, in so many words, was just saying we're going to be a third-party publisher. He just didn't use the buzzword third-party publisher because he knew how you motherfuckers would act. But the pure bonehead buffoonery, we took something that was as clear as fucking day, and we obscured it and murkied and blurred it up. We're the ones that lied to you. But no. We're not the problem. They're the problem. Follow us in our revolution. That fucking revolution is going to lead everybody directly off a cliff into a fucking lava pit. You follow that shit if you want to. Like the audacity over on this side, it's amazing. It is truly fucking amazing. This stupidity, or not stupidity, it's buffoonery. Because these people knew better. They knew what was really going on. That's why they worked so hard in such a concerted effort. All these people aren't dumb. What they're trying to get you to believe requires you to be dumb. Think about it. They're insulting your intelligence. It's not that they are dumb. What they want you to believe requires you to be dumb in order to believe it. Why do you think they in unison were so quick to band together and say, oh, no. Well, no. They were just talking about ABK. They were just talking about ABK. They were all sitting in these fucking DMs, planning and scheming together. They do it all the time. They're sitting in these DMs. What is the best plan of attack? Because this affects all of our channels. Well, no. And every single one of them, oh no, they was only talking about ABK, only talking about ABK, only talking about ABK, taking words, thee and thou, and twisting them this and that. And no, the W was supposed to be upside down, and the E was supposed to be sideways. Doing all types of crazy shit to obfuscate what was abundantly clear. They were going multi-plat. There was no doubt about it. There was no confusion around it. They were going multi-plat. There should have been no confusion. None. All right, we're going to wrap up. We're in the 3-hour mark. And if Cold Blood wants to play some what's it called? He can. But yeah. Just felt like we should do that. Follow Xbox. I'll probably do a video later today talking about all this, but I mean, I'm closing out saying I don't know how Cold Blood feels. I mean, Cold Blood, we'll let Cold Blood close out and tell us how he feels about all this, but I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I don't feel sorry for you. I no longer feel sorry for you. I no longer feel like that I have to fight, except for those that are like new, that are super new, that, you know, maybe took a step away from gaming. Like, cause I've been in that situation. They took a step from gaming for a few years and finally have come back, you know what I'm saying? And they're looking at the numbers next to this person and that person, and they don't know what's going on. Outside of that, I don't feel sorry for you at all. If you're still out here whining and crying about why this game ain't coming to Xbox and doing it, I don't know what else to tell you. They don't give a fuck about you anymore. And if you are that, if you feel that low of yourselves to commit yourself to somebody that doesn't give a fuck about you, you're beyond my reach at all. You got to have a little bit more confidence in yourself than that in order for me to be able to reach you. If you feel that low about yourself where somebody can basically spit in your mouth and you not do anything about it, then I don't know what to tell you. But we're gonna sign out. Coldblood, what are your thoughts on the last 2 days? What happened yesterday and what Phil had to say today? What are your overall thoughts?
How do you describe the feeling of a big ass dildo going up your ass? How do you describe that feeling?
You've been filberized instead of pulverized. You've been filberized.
Absolutely. Bro came on the show, told you exactly what the fuck is gonna be happening now.
Yeah.
We're gonna change our damn strategy, and you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
It's over.
Over.
What else is there to say? It's over. Stop fucking fighting with other people about Xbox not going third party.
Yeah.
Phil just confirmed it once again.
Yep.
Is it going to happen from today to tomorrow? No. It's going to be slow. But goddamn, you got already 5 games coming.
Yeah.
And Forza Horizon and Starfield are next.
They're next, yeah. They're coming.
Maybe not Horizon 5, but 6, I think so.
Oh, well. All right, y'all. We're out of here. We will wrap to you guys later. Just stay tuned to the content. Make sure you're following and enjoy it. All right, until next time.
Tim Dog was right. Tim Dog was right.
Yeah, Tim Dog was right. Yeah, hashtag Tim Dog was right. You all have a wonderful. Oh, and again, as a reminder, we revealed the NPD news. Like it's all. There's no roses anywhere. Don't listen to them. Remember, they told you people weren't buying PlayStations. Right. Well, I got to show this one more time before I go. People weren't buying PlayStations, right? And they were buying Xboxes for fucking what's it called? For college 2025, right? Let's look at the most recent NPDs one more time and then we're the fuck out of here.
Moss, why didn't we look at the Coke line with King David?
The Coke line? What happened?
Full on rant on his channel about this shit.
Oh no, I didn't see that. Who got that? Is there a clip? Is there a link somewhere?
No, there's no link. It's just a video you made yesterday.
Oh, you talking about Hold the Line? Oh yeah. I didn't.
I call it the Coke line with King David.
He's in the Coke line instead of Hold the Line. Yeah, I saw. I was watching the video, and I got to be honest. You guys think I like targeting these people? I don't, but we got to keep it real here. We got to call a spade. He's nothing against New Yorkers. I got family in New York, and I tell them this all the time. Y'all just like to hear yourselves talk. The New Yorkers, they do, bro. Like they'll sit up there and they'll be like, "Yeah, ma'am. So the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. Chickens have 3 toes, but when you pluck a feather and strike a toe, you'll find a hoe. Bippity, 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 bop. They'll just sit there and say shit that don't mean fucking nothing. And they'll say it and they'll try to sound so smooth and they'll stroke their face. That's typical New Yorker. If you're not used to New Yorkers, that's what they do. That's typical New Yorker. Is they'll sit up there, yeah, you know, God damn it. If the bottle breaks on the ground, and your face is round, you can't come downtown. You'll be sitting there listening for hours like, okay, when are you going to bring this on home? When is this going to start making sense? And then 4 hours later, okay, all right, y'all, talk to y'all later. And you're like, hold on, what the fuck was that? That is typical New Yorker. They love to hear their fucking selves talk. Not all of them. Shout out to P-Rock. Shout out to Tim. You know what I'm saying? Like, New Yorkers can talk, but some just love to hear themselves talk, bro. And I sat there and I was trying to listen, and I'm like, where are we going with this? Like, what does this even fuck? It's just a lot of metaphors and similes that don't make any fucking sense. And then I think after like an hour, because I don't regularly listen to their content, but you know, yesterday was a special case. I was like, after an hour, I was like, okay, I think what they're trying to say is that Phil Spencer didn't want to do this. Satya and Amy forced him, and now they're going to school Satya and Amy on why they shouldn't have done that. I'm like, okay, that's a pitiful strategy first and foremost, because ain't nobody buying that shit. Secondly, fucking, you could have said it a lot shorter. You know, you could have just threw the bullshit out there instead of just throwing little pellets of it. Just throw the whole turd out there, you know. But so after that, I turned that off. I was like, I don't even know why I tried that. It was just a lot of face stroking and a lot of, yeah, and, you know, I mean, sometimes the pickle can shoot up, but if you chop it down, things can go left. Huh? Fuck you. Huh? You know, in the time when things is fickle, they say the cucumber makes the better pickle. Like, what? Hold on, what the fuck am I listening to? Are we talking about games? Or are we talking about salads? I don't, what is going, click, I'm turning this off. Where's King Thrash? Where's somebody else? Where's Porter Rock? So yeah, I heard it, and then I was like, nah, okay. I kind of guessed the angle that they're trying to work, but I'm not buying it, and I don't want to sit here and listen to this drawn out way of explaining. Damn, we're screwed, and we got to try something. So, but yeah, for those of you that don't know, NPD was released. Matt Piscadella put out the numbers. PlayStation 1 July again. Matter of fact, I put a tweet out about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. Let's just play this real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. I said, hold on. I was told, never mind. I'll let them live. PlayStation 5 led the month's hardware market in unit and dollar sales, with Xbox Series X ranking second across both measures. July 2024 is the first month with year-on-year growth in video game hardware spending since the 2% increase seen during. So yeah. Okay. There we go. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all later. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.